Alright, let's test audio and everything before I get going too much and realize my audio isn't working. Stream manager, turn this unmuted. Yes, okay, my mic is working. Okay, mute that again so I'm not doing anything weird. Okay. Hello again, stream. It has been a hot minute. I originally said this world was only going to be muted for my plan, but I feel like chatting today, and I felt like talking through some of this world, so I'm here to chat a little. This is going to be a rare, like, once or twice off type of thing. This world is literally meant to just be for me to vent, play, and also make content for the stream. So it's really not meant to be, like, anything that's super intense on talking and spending time chatting with you guys. I mean, I still chat in the text chat during this, but that's about it. So the mission today is to go find that stuff I just lost. That's actually why I ended yesterday. It wasn't like a rage quit. It was I ended it so that I could go back in the stream and find the chords that I died at and then write them down. So that's the goal for today. I think I'm going to have to bring some gear with me at least to get by, which is hard because we have literally minimal extra iron. Oh, we do have more iron than I thought. Okay, I went on that trip because I thought we were out of iron. We're not, in fact, out of iron. Not very smart of me. But, I'm hoping it doesn't despawn because it's, you know, like over 1,000 blocks. Not over 1,000 blocks. Yeah, a little over 1,000 blocks away. So I'm really hoping it doesn't despawn on us. For armor, I'm literally just gonna throw on whatever I have, just to, like, get by, and have a little bit of defense. I will take a simple bow. Hello, welcome. I think I'm gonna take a simple bow, so that I don't like punch bows, so I'll take this one. So that I can at least, like, defend myself while I'm trying to get back down there to get what I need to get. How many was that? 9, so I need 9 feathers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so this world's supposed to be like a muted world, but I just felt like chatting some today, but I didn't really feel like getting on the, where's my wood? Okay, I have some of this. I didn't really feel like getting on the main world that I usually use for actual, chat games, so I'm just gonna do it on this world for today. It's not gonna be a very common occurrence on this world, like I was explaining, just because I really don't feel like constantly, having to be on the mic on this world. Okay, so I've got that stuff. That should be enough. I'm gonna make probably a pickaxe or a sword. I think a sword and a pickaxe, because I'll make use of the pickaxe if I, you know, still have it when I'm done. Okay. Alright, that should be enough to get by. I'm honestly just gonna swim instead of boating, which is gonna suck, but oh well. Ooh, I do need food to get by, too. I'm just gonna take 8 steak and hope that lasts. We'll see. Okay, so we're gonna run this way, because this is the direction that I went in. Oh, I have another boat here. Okay, good. I don't need to swim across this massive ocean. 659 is the X. So I've got to go this way at the same time. I wrote down those chords from where I died, so I'm hoping I can get back to it. I don't know if I'm just going to mine straight down to it, because there was water there, so I could, like, mine down and end up in the water, or if I'm going to try to find the cave entrance that I had and then get all the way down to it from the cave entrance. I don't know which will be more efficient. I think with an iron pick it'd be more efficient to try to get there from the cave entrance than to try to get there mining, because the iron pick would be kind of slow. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. So I have to keep going this way. I'm just trying to get there as efficiently as possible, because once we get into range for the despawn timer to be going... Oh, there's an azalea tree. I'll have to remember that. I probably won't remember that, but I'm not stopping to write the chords down because I don't know how close I have to be for the despawn timer to start running again. So, what is... Oh, that's when I hold myself up in there because I was gonna die. I was like, what is that? Who did that? Okay, 659. It's right here. This one. No, this one. I don't know. One of these ones. Just need to keep going this way. Hey kitty, what are you doing? Laying on my back. Alright. So, yeah, I'm just playing for a little bit today. I don't have a ton of time. Does that get me down there? No. I don't have a ton of time today, but I'm still like 500 blocks away. I don't know why I thought that would get me down to that cave. I don't have a bunch of time today, but I just was hoping to stream a little bit and get this stuff back. The main reason why I went mining was because I want diamonds, but in order to get diamonds, I need more iron, because I was going to just strip mine in that little mine we have at home for diamonds, but which isn't that efficient, I know. In the new update it's better to just do it in caves, but I still strip mine once in a while. But I can't really do that when I have such minimal iron, because I'll run out of iron very fast. So I had to go caving, which is why I just started going. I just chose a direction which happened to be positive Z, and oh, it's a baby cow, which just happened to be positive Z, and I figured if I kept traveling in that direction, eventually I would find a cave, and then I'd eventually be able to get back home easily, because I knew I only went in, you know, one main direction, because I am off map, being this far being this far away from home. So, I'm hoping I can find my stuff. I wrote down the chords, so it's just the biggest factor is how fast I can get to it once I'm in the radius for the despawn timer to be running, because that's 2 minutes, and 2 minutes can go by really quick. Very, very quickly. Alright, this looks like it might be an entrance. Is it? No. There's gotta be an entrance, like right here. Because I know there was grass and stuff in the cave. This isn't the right cave. 1579. 1579. I just need to get to my stuff, man. It is probably the right cave. It's just a matter of which entrance is correct. Does it look like that one goes over that way? No. Ugh. The more I'm standing around here, the more time I'm wasting. This one looks like it goes that way. Maybe. If I just wasted time going down this, I swear to God. It looks like I did. Alright, 659. No, I can't mine that far over and down in 2 minutes. Ugh! I'm gonna lose my stuff. I mean, it's all recoverable, but like, I had stacks on stacks of coal, and I had my good fishing rod. I can't risk that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Entrance. Entrance. Entrance! Screw you, zombie. I don't care about you right now. I need to get to my stuff. Yes, and then I go down here, and then I drop down into the water, and then down there is where I lost my stuff. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, screw off, all of ya. My stuff! Oh, my stuff. My stuff. Oh. Honestly, my biggest concern in losing my stuff was that fishing rod that I just realized I had on me. Because that fishing rod would not be nice to lose. It was the main reason that I grinded so hard the last episode, or the last day. Okay, I gotta organize stuff. I gotta throw down torches, but I don't have torches because they're right here. Come on, I need torches. Give me my torches. Okay. Okay, okay. If I can throw down... Stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. If I can throw down a couple torches right here, I can take the time to actually organize my stuff without being as bombarded. Doesn't seem like that's gonna work, though. I don't want to die. Why are there multiple of them that have iron shovels? I mean, I guess I'm gonna get my XP back, but what the heck? Okay, okay. Okay, I need to figure this out before stuff starts despawning. So I'm gonna make a pile of get rid of right here. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need the plain bow. I don't really need the string right now. I don't need the singular glowstone dust. Oh, no, 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 no. Get out of my face. I'm actually really liking punch right now, and I normally don't. Okay. God damn it, there's a baby one. Babies are the bane of my existence. They kill me every time. Please don't kill me. Please. Please. I don't want to die. Okay. Okay. Oh god, a creeper. Why am I so bad with my bow lately? Okay, okay, okay. I don't need the crap armor that I put on. I need my good armor. Oh my god, okay, let's start putting things in a bundle. Why did I pick this back up? I picked up the friggin' spider eye. Ah, I see you. This cave's gonna be a nightmare to deal with now that I've been sitting here dealing with my inventory for so long. Okay, I need to light that stuff on fire so it stops ending up back in my inventory like that. Brat. Oh god, oh god, oh god, that's what killed me last time. Thank you for helping destroy my stuff. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Why? Leave me alone. And a creeper, and it just blew up. It just blew up the last of my stuff that was sitting here. I really hope there was nothing important in that. This game hates me today. And yesterday. Okay. Well, here's hoping nothing important was in that pile of stuff that he just exploded. Doesn't look like anything super important. I have my fishing rod, I have my bows, I have my sword, my axe, my pickaxe, my food. I have building blocks, I have torches. I have coal, I have my map. I should have... Oh, he blew up my bundle. Shoot, what did I put in that bundle? I don't remember. I don't think it was anything important. I hope it wasn't anything important. Oh my god, do they ever stop? This is actually getting really frustrating. Because, like, what the heck, I just want a second or piece to figure out my stuff. Bunch of free XP. How many mobs I killed. I think the goal is going to be to light up a big area, and then I'll go back and start mining stuff. I'm okay. I would be better if this game wasn't trying to murk me every single second that I exist today, but that's what you get caving, I suppose. At least my bow mostly one-shots things. Makes life a little easier. I'm mad that it blew up my bundle though, because I was going to use that so that mining would be lasting a little longer. So that I'm not like getting too full of an inventory too fast like I currently have. Come on. Alright, cool. screw it. This bow's working good for us. We'll mend it a little with its mending. I wasn't gonna mend it, that's why I was just like, it's fine if I take this bow because it has punch and I don't like punch. But I guess we're mending it. Alright, this should be a big enough area. How did he spawn over there? This is lit up. What? I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. Anyways, how are you today? I'm sorry that I didn't ask yet. I was a little distracted trying not to die. Okay. See how it's lit up? I don't get it. Is it like this chunk here? Oh yeah, because there's this little cave here too. Okay, that makes more sense. Ooh, that's a geode. I'm gonna have to write the coords down for that. Okay, I can erase my lost stuff one because I got my stuff back. Geode 690 1584. Alright. Anyways. Let's mine in. I think I'm gonna leave it alone. I marked the coords down, so it's fine. And I'm out of arrows already. Great. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's actually get back up here like I was trying to do. And mine stuff like I was trying to do. I wanted this coal. So yeah, the main goal of when I started mining yesterday was to be able to get more coal and more iron, because we don't have very much of either since this is an early world. But yeah, I created this world just because I really wanted to play Minecraft one day, and just to like kind of vent play and be able to just play without any expectations and stuff and kind of restart. And then because I was already playing and because I have this stream platform, I figured I would stream it, but I didn't really, you know, I was not having a good day, so I did not feel like doing the whole let's get on the mic and talk with people and all that, so I just did it as a muted game. And then since then I've just been enjoying having the chance to stream without having to constantly think of what to say, which is why I've just been kind of continuing with the muted streams, and I haven't really been feeling playing the world that I normally am unmuted on, where I have like my whole house and all the intricate builds that I've done and everything. I just didn't really feel like playing that world lately, so I haven't. I feel a sneeze coming. Yep, there was a sneeze coming. Okay, let's make some more torches. I see you down there, slime. You're not very slick. Slime balls are useful. Where's the other iron I was looking at? There's some right here. So yeah, the goal is to get diamonds because I would love to get a diamond pick going. I thought I already had a diamond pick, but I don't know where it went, because I mean, I had to have had a diamond pick to have gotten the obsidian that I had for the enchant table. I don't know where it is, though. Somewhere in the chest, probably. I'll have to find that when I get home, because I've been TNT mining in the Nether to be able to get XP easily, and in doing so I uncovered a lot of ancient debris, so getting a decent diamond pick going would be nice to be able to get all that ancient debris up, since we have a lot of it, as the other episodes have shown. Probably like 60% of what I need for a full set of armor, honestly. I don't know though. I don't remember the specific amounts that I need to convert it to ingots, to have enough ingots for a full set of armor. Whoa, hello, this is a half-flooded little cave section. Odd. Just random source blocks that make no sense. Hello, mobs. I am glad for the random source blocks. Of course. And that was my last arrow. Of course. Because why would it ever be easy? Yeah, I was gonna let him explode, so he exploded that zombie. I want to get rid of it, but I'm not going to, because if I get rid of it, then I don't have a line of defense against all these mobs. Because if the mobs come at me, I can just run backwards back into the water. This is a good little chunk of iron here. A couple here, a bunch down here. Yeah, I thought yesterday, because I only had like 4 iron or so left in my inventory, I thought that was all the iron I had left. So I like raced off to find a mine that had iron, and it turns out that was not in fact all the iron I had left, and I did not need to race off to find a mine, but it'll still serve me well to have more iron and more supplies. Especially the coal. I mean, we got like 4 stacks of coal. Okay, I'm gonna throw some of the stuff I don't need out while I'm here, because this is a little dead-end cave that I'm not gonna come back to, so I won't pick it up again. Okay, I don't need this, I don't need this. Do I need potatoes? I think I have potatoes. I'm pretty sure I have potatoes. How sure am I, though? Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure. I'm trying to think back to the farm. Plus, if I don't have it, all I have to do is keep killing zombies like I did for the first few days to get carrots. Oh my god, let me up, please. It's also harder for me to stream with the mic on lately, because I definitely swear a lot more in real life than I used to. When I started streaming, I didn't want to swear on this platform at all, just as like, I know it's not absolutely not allowed on Twitch or anything, it's just kind of what I wanted to do for my platform. And being that I swear a lot more in real life than I used to, it's definitely a lot harder censoring myself. Like, if anyone heard some of the anger I have gotten at this world when I have my mic muted or have my mic not connected, yeah, it doesn't go very well. So, I don't know. Like, honestly, I almost called those mobs that kept bombarding me a couple not so nice names, which would not have gone well for my brand. So that's kind of another reason why I haven't done microphone use much. But I don't know, it's just not really been my thing anymore as much as it used to be. Talking on stream, that is. Not streaming in general, just like talking on stream. Ooh, arrows. Yes, please. Okay. This is like an intricate cave system that we just wandered into. And I don't know how I feel about that, because there's an intricate cave system behind us that we were trying to clear out. What the heck? Great, now I'm gonna die because this lady has harming potions. I'm gonna back up Because one wrong hit and I'm gone. I'm gonna hide in the well-lit area I have and heal up. How long is this poison gonna last? Oh, it's finally running out. But yeah, I've mostly just been focused on, like, I stopped streaming for quite a while because there was another period of time that my partner was home from work, and when he's home from work, I usually don't tend to have the time to play my game. It's usually playing games with him if we play games, so I don't really get around to being on here much. But he's been working again this week, so I got to stream yesterday. Excuse me with my yawn. But I also get to stream today, even though it's one of his days off, because he's out running some errands and stuff, so that's why I have like a limited amount of time, since he's just out running errands. He's not indefinitely out for the day, which, I mean, he really isn't indefinitely out for the day when he's at work either. It's set hours, but y'all know what I mean. Iron. Okay, we came from here. I do have a system with my torches, if anyone has ever noticed. I tend to put torches on the left side of the wall, so that if I'm trying to get out of a mine, I can tell where I came from. I also, when it's a big system like this, tend to put one down flat on the ground when I come from somewhere into another section, because it makes it easier to identify rather than just running in circles trying to figure out when torches are on the right side of me instead of the left side of me and all that. I mean, I'm not as angry that I died yesterday as I was the last few episodes when I kept dying. The last few episodes that I kept dying were super frustrating because I was trying to get to level 30 to be able to have, screw it, I don't need my power 3 though. I was trying to get enough levels to get to level 30 to enchant that fishing rod so I could have a good fishing rod put together. And just like every time I got close to level 30 or even at level 30, I would always die. And it happened for days of this in a row. And it was just extremely frustrating and extremely overwhelming. It was not a good time, to say the least. So, I'm glad that I got enough to get that fishing rod. Which I really shouldn't have brought with me because there is the risk of dying and losing my stuff. But I realized that yesterday when I was about 3/4 of the way to the cave, so I really didn't feel like traveling all the way back home to put it away. Because I was like, I'm still exploring and I'm almost 1,000 blocks away from home right now. I don't really want to go back just to come back again. So I didn't. I am going to have to start throwing out stuff in my inventory, which is going to suck because I don't know what I want to throw out. If I hadn't gotten rid of that string, then I would have been able to make bundles, but I got rid of that string. So I can't make any bundles, so I'm kind of stuck. Granted, bundles wouldn't help me very much right now. I could only put, like, the slime balls and the leather and maybe the bones away at once in a bundle. So it'd only open up 2 inventory slots. So it really wouldn't help that much anyways. And yes, I'm avoiding copper. I don't really find much interest in copper unless I'm using it for a build. So I don't really tend to go for it very often. And then, like, if I know I need it for a build, I just go back to all the caves I've been in before, because then I can find the copper that I left behind. pretty easily and just have a bunch of it. It's just such an inventory clog to have copper when you're on a mining trip, because there's so much of it for every like vein that you mine, and it's more wasteful to mine it and then have to throw it out of your inventory than it is to just leave it and you can get it some other time if you need it. We're getting some good iron return now, so that's nice. And some other stuff like redstone, which I'm glad for as far as XP wise, because I did have 20 something levels when I died, so it's not that great to be trying to recover it. I think if I have to throw stuff out, the next thing might be leather, because we do have cows at our mob farm at home, or our regular farm at home, so it's not like the end of the world if I have to get rid of leather. I can always get it back, type of thing, versus if I get rid of stuff like slime, it'll be harder to get back. The bones I could get back, but they'd be nice to have, so I don't know. I definitely don't want to throw out the gunpowder. That's going to be like the last possible thing I would throw out. Like, honestly, if I get to the point where I have to throw out the gunpowder, I might just go home and come back to the mine another time, because I definitely can't afford to get rid of that when I need it for things like the TNT mining and stuff. It's definitely the last of the list of things I would want to give up on. Just being that I've been using it so much for TNT mining, and it's useful for other things like firework rockets eventually when I get elytra. I have gotten a lot more comfortable with elytra than I was when I was playing the main world very often on this stream. But I definitely still wouldn't trust myself very much with it, mainly because the comfortability I have with it is from playing the world with my partner that we have, and that world has keep inventory, so the comfortability is more based in being able to not worry about dying as much, which the keep inventory wasn't my choice. He prefers to play, or like will only play if it's keep inventory, so I just kind of was like, okay. As you all know from my past streams, I'm really not a keep inventory person. I don't really like to use it because I like to get the achievements on the worlds that I'm in, and I like to be actually like feeling like I'm accomplishing something. When it's keep inventory, to me it feels less like you've accomplished something and more like you're just playing in sort of creative mode, which doesn't make sense to most people, I'm sure, but it's just like the ability to constantly return without having to do the work. Like, you know, you can travel thousands of blocks away from home easily because, well, if you want to go home, you just die. You don't have to, you know, travel the thousands of blocks back, or you can travel thousands of blocks because you don't have to worry about if you die, you're going to lose all your stuff and can't find it again. I mean, it makes playing a lot less stressful. I will definitely agree on that, which is good because my partner does get pretty frustrated pretty easily, so like when we're not playing with keep inventory, he's pretty quick to want to completely quit playing for the day if he dies a few times with not being able to get his stuff back, or like having to struggle to find his stuff again and all that. So I understand it. I understand the reasoning behind it. It's just something I find a little less enjoyable and a little more particular to what I wouldn't do. But it doesn't hurt anything, and it's certainly still something that I do because I still play with them with keep inventory on. I mean, I might someday do a keep inventory world on stream, but I think part of the appeal for me for streaming, and for probably most people that watch streams, is that, you know, the person's still constantly making efforts with their stream, and they're still, you know, having to keep developing and changing and adjusting with what they're doing, versus having to just, you know, chill and just exist, pretty much. Like, there's more, I don't know how to really word what I'm thinking, there's more challenge to it. It's not, you know, just relaxing and talking the whole time. There's stuff happening, and there's, you know, there's setbacks, and there's reasons to go this way or do that thing, and stuff like that. It just keeps things moving more. I don't know. That's just my opinion on things. Who knows how right or wrong it is. I don't really discredit anyone that plays with keep inventory or cheats or anything, though. I've definitely been pretty guilty of it. Like, my old worlds on my PS3 would always have cheats enabled, whether I use them or not. Just because, like, that's just the switch I always flicked when I was turning the settings and putting them together. So it was just kind of what I was used to doing. But not really something I do very much anymore. I have to come back and get that gold. I'm gonna have to make inventory space for that gold, but ooh, okay, that is what I wanted. So I'll have to make inventory space for that gold and for these diamonds, which is nice. I'm not gonna complain. Whoa, okay. I'm not gonna keep mining that redstone because I just saw lava through that gravel that fell. Okay. Diamonds. Any more? Doesn't look it. Diamonds. Any more? Doesn't look it. Okay, a few diamonds is nice. Whoa, this cave opens right up. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna get home, honestly, because, like, I'm gonna have to be very attentive to how I got in and out of this cave to be able to get back home. Either that or just mine straight up, which is a possibility. Not the best idea, though. Alright, we came from here, which doesn't help because I have to place things on the ground in general here. So I'm going to put this here so that I know that's where I came from. Because with this big of a cave, I can't really just place on the walls. I have to place on the floor a lot too. There's a spider. I could make a bundle. I'm trying to just avoid all these mobs as best I can, which isn't going to work very well. I ran out of torches. Alright. Okay. These guys I can handle face to face. The skeletons, not so much. Evidently not the zombies much either. Alright, the skeletons, I want a bow, which is hard when it's constantly mending itself. Okay. Just because I don't like doing face to face with the skeletons, it's too risky to... When I'm this deep into a cave, this far away from home, I don't want to keep risking my life. It's just not a good idea for my health. So... Hey, diamonds. Another skeleton and a spider. Skelly I can handle, I think, since it's just 1 instead of 3. But I don't know for sure. Screw it. Oh, this isn't going well. Die. Please. Okay. I need to eat. Also, it's insane that we're at 58 followers. I forgot that that's what I was at until I started streaming yesterday. I honestly didn't even know I was anywhere near that when I was thinking of it the other day. So that's pretty cool. Diamonds. Any more? Doesn't look it. Alright, just one. Just one. Goodness, this guy's a tank. 5 hits instead of the usual 3. Let's go down at the cave. There's some iron hidden in here. Just one though. Alright, now I'm trying to run back around and get all the stuff I missed when I was just running around lighting things up, which includes all this gold. I should probably travel back a little and find that gold. Yeah, I'll have to go back that way to go home anyways, so. I'm not going to worry too much about redstone, I think. Redstone is useful to have, and it gives good XP. But when it's a choice between redstone and more iron or gold, I think I'd choose more iron right now, just at the place that we are in the game. I don't tend to use very much redstone either. I'm not really like a redstone builder or anything, so I don't often have very much use for it. I only have use for it in crafting and brewing, and I don't brew very much either. I got back into brewing a little bit recently because on the world I've been playing with my partner, we've been pretty heavy on like brewing potions. Like we were brewing regens and stuff for when I was trying to make a enderman farm, and I kept having to use ender pearls endlessly to try to get an endermite to spawn. That was such a nightmare. I cannot stand trying to get endermites to spawn. It's one of the most tedious things ever for no reason. It's either like you take 1 pearl only to make one spawn, or it takes 20. And there's no in between. Actually, I think it took about 20 to get the first one to spawn, and then because I wasn't the one with the name tag, we ended up screwing it up and losing him because he died of thorns off of my partner's armor, because I took my thorns armor off, but he didn't, and then it was a whole mess. And then it took another few for the next one to spawn, and then that one died again for whatever reason, I don't remember. And then it took another like 2 stacks or 3 stacks of pearls to get the last one to spawn that finally was the one that we were able to use for the farm. So it was really tedious. It was not a fun time. Endermites are a pain in the butt, that's for sure. I'm glad we're getting some iron, because I definitely need decent stacks of iron. Like, I'm always heavy on having at least a few stacks in storage at all times. If I don't have at least like 2 stacks in a storage chest mid-game, I go mining for more. I mean, I could always make a golem farm, but I would have to get villagers closer to home, and that's not very probable right now with how far away the villagers are, and without having, you know, like weakness pots and a golden apple to do a conversion of them. If I wanted to just convert, I think that's how I'm going to get my villagers, is just converting a couple zombies, because I feel like that'll be far easier than trying to transport the about 1,000 or so blocks it is to the nearest of the villages. I think I might call it quits in this cave soon. I'm not sure how soon, but I know soon. Because I don't want to get too involved in it and then run out of space entirely. And I am getting pretty close to the point where I'm going to run out of space. Like, the next thing I could drop would be maybe bones. I'd probably drop rotten flesh before bones, because rotten flesh is a lot more available, and I don't need to keep it as much as I do when I have a village with a trader. I don't have anyone that'll trade me emeralds right now for rotten flesh, so it's kind of useless to stockpile it. So that'll probably be the next thing I drop. I might even drop that into this hole. Oh, there's more iron here. There's lots more iron here. And just a couple. Okay. Yeah, I might even drop that into this hole and leave it there. I think I'll explore a little further this way, and other than that, I'll kind of move on. Just get like this iron and that gold, probably. I hate that I don't know if that's a new update thing or what, but the mob hits have been glitching me into walls very often, both on this world and on the, Oi! Oi! I didn't ask for you to shoot me to death. Both on this world and on the world I play with my partner, I've been getting glitched into walls by mobs very often. Like, I was trying to name the endermite, and I was struggling because every time I got hit by it, it was glitching me into a little wall that I had built around it to contain it while I was doing so. It was just a whole mess. For no good reason. Did I lose that creeper? I think I lost that creeper. Good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the last of what I can see right here, and then I'm gonna go back and start backtracking a little, because I am definitely running out of space. This is less iron than I would have liked to go home with from this far away of a mining trip. Whoa, okay. Be careful with the parkour jumping there. There we go. Yeah. I thought that creeper was walking on air for a minute up there above my head, but no, he's walking on a platform. Yeah, this is definitely less iron than I would like to go home with. 3 stacks. Not the best. Less than I would like. So maybe I'll go for 4 before I go home. I just don't want to, I'm anxious and want to quit while I'm ahead, because I don't want to die this deep into a cave. And there's definitely plenty of mobs that could make that happen right now. You included. And I don't know how I feel about that. That's another spawner, isn't it? Yep. That's not going to be nice to get into, because I guarantee you it's been spawning this whole time and it's enclosed. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to like peek hole that and try to shoot the mobs. I thought I saw iron here. Yes, I did. I was like, I thought I went down this for a reason. I wrote down the coords of the other spawner, so I should probably write down the coords of this one, unless it's another zombie one, in which case I probably won't, because the other one was closer to the surface that I wrote down. I don't know what spawner this is gonna be. What are you? Spider spawner. I don't think I even want to write this down. I guess I can, because it might prove to be useful at some point. It might be useful at some point, like if I needed, ooh, a name tag and more iron. If I needed, I'm not gonna bother with the bread. If I needed a bunch of string or spider eyes for whatever reason, I could always farm this. I have no clue what to get rid of. I guess, I was gonna say, I guess my iron shovel. Okay, I will write it down just in case. Spider spawner. Y'all should see the length of the list of cords I have for some of my worlds, like the world that we normally play on this stream. I have a whole long note in my phone about all the chords that I need to remember for that world. And then same thing goes for the world I play with my partner. I have a very long, actually probably a longer list of chords of that because we've been traveling as much as like 20,000 blocks away from home. And that's a geode. I think I'm gonna save the chords of the other one more than this one. I don't know. I think I'll find that one easily if I come back to the spider spawner, so I'll just like note that there's a geode nearby in my note. Yeah, this was the gold I was talking about coming back to get. Because there's a couple little veins of it here. There's like a couple, 2 or 3 veins. I am avoiding some of this lapis. I am seeing it, like I'm not seeing it, if anyone's wondering. I've been avoiding it because I already have almost 2 stacks on me, so I don't really need any more this trip. I don't need to compromise another entire inventory space slot for lapis rather than iron, because I don't go through lapis too much right now. I mean, I definitely do when I get deeper into farming for enchants and getting all of my like good gear put together and everything, but not much right this second in the gameplay. Nothing here. So I guess down it is. Oof, I don't want to go down, that's a big open cave space. So I guess I'm going to keep going back towards where I came from. I think I'm just going to start mostly backtracking now and find what iron I find along the way. And still detour here and there for some new areas to try to keep getting more iron and more coal. Kind of like a 50-50 split between heading back home or back towards the surface and getting more supplies along the way. I have 3.5 stacks of iron right now. I'll definitely have to note down the entrance to the cave when I finally find my way back out, so that I can come back and keep exploring this area, because it does still have a lot to offer. I just don't have the inventory space to get the offerings today. I hate seeing all the floating gravel in these caves, it makes me very nervous. Zambo. Skelly. I like the little purple particles that keep happening. I don't know if that's like a new crit particle or something. It's cool though. I never noticed that they were particularly purple before. So that's why I said I don't know if it's new or not. But yeah, life is lifing right now. There's a lot going on at once and a lot of stress about money and bills and everything, but that's adulting for you. Adulting in this climate, political and social climate at least. Hey, that might be a way out. Because that looked like nightlight, not cave light. Oh. Alright, I gotta make a new pick. Which means I'll probably make some more torches while I'm at it, because I'm just gonna make 8 sticks. And I don't want to keep all 8 sticks in my inventory taking up space. So I'll make a pick and then make the rest into torches. And then put the pick here, pick up my crafting table. I could always toss my crafting table if I need an extra space, because crafting tables are easy to replace, especially when I already have wood on me. So if I do end up needing a crafting table after I toss it out, I could easily get it. I actually think that might be my next plan of action, because I don't really want to throw away anything else right now. So, crafting table gone it is. This is a ravine-ish opening. Little mini ravine vibe. Oh, I was gonna say I'll kill you with your own medicine, but I can't do that. And I can't even pick up those arrows to be able to kill it with a taste of its own medicine, or kill the next one with a taste of its own medicine. There's a bunch of iron in this wall. I don't know if I want to build up for it though. I don't think I do. Yeah, that's definitely a nightlight. So I might take that as the exit instead of having to backtrack even further. I don't know. I'm not 100% on that. There's some iron nestled in that corner there. I don't know if I want to build for it. More of that ravine spawn. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth... It's definitely nighttime, so I don't think it's worth going up right this second. That's for sure, because I don't want to spend all this time surviving just to die on the surface. I was wondering where I saw iron that was accessible. It's right here. I know there's some above me too, but that's not very accessible right now. I don't know, I might keep backtracking just for the sake of getting a little bit more iron, because I did start an all new stack in my inventory, so it'd be kind of wasteful not to at least try to finish it. But at the same time, if I try to finish it and I end up with too much, I'm gonna be kind of ticked, because it's not nice to leave behind already mined iron. I'm not sure. Looks like another cave section. Looks like iron right there, so I might head up it. Yes, this is iron. Whoa. Not what I meant to do. Good thing I didn't walk into that. Yeah, just a little hole. That's my iron though. Okay, where did I come from? Because there's a torch down, like I came from somewhere down here. And then I came from this way. And then I came from this way. I think this leads back to that big open area with water. Yep, big open area with water that I started at. Which I never did 100% explore, I just kind of threw torches down. I am going to collect some of this coal. I don't know how much of it I can collect, because I don't know how much inventory space I have left for coal. But because I've crafted torches a few times, I think I do have enough space for a little bit more of it. And the XP doesn't hurt because I am getting back towards the level I was at. Yep, I stopped being able to pick it up. Okay. I'm not that mad about wasted coal when I have 5 stacks of it. I don't think there's anything I would trade for some more coal. Not really. The iron shovel isn't worth coal. The bones aren't really worth coal. I mean, I guess the bones could be worth coal, because I could always farm more bones. Yeah, screw it. Coal's a little more useful than bones right now. I can always get more bones at home. I can't get more coal at home very easily because I don't have a mine like this at home. Dang. My hand keeps falling asleep, so it feels really weird to use the controller. Pins and needles, pins and needles. And it feels like my wrist has to pop, but it won't pop. Which is a really aggravating feeling. I am not a fan. I don't see any more iron up here, I just see more coal. But I don't really want to go back down into the mine system for more iron if it's turning daytime. Maybe I'll just write down the coords of the entrance. Yeah, I've got 22 on that stack. It would be nice to get more, but I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna really go full ham for it if I don't need to. Because it is turning daylight out there, I think, somewhere. Hard to tell what's what. Hard to tell where I came from, because it says I came from here. But I didn't come from here if there's no... Maybe I came from up here? Yes, there we go, torch is on the right side again. I'm just following my torch system. What? This isn't making sense. Screw it, I'm using this as an exit because my torch system isn't making any sense right now. Alright, I'll place some torches down right here so when I come back to the mine I can find it a little easier. And I'll probably cut down this tree. Alright, so mine entrance. 632, 79, 1576. Alright. Now let's start heading in. I was actually debating going further to find another mine. No, let's start heading home. I don't think it's worth it. Hello, spider. Goodbye, spider. It's strange. I had quite the morning already today. I was trying to take my dogs out because they hadn't been out yet today and they really had to go out. And there was this lady that I haven't seen around before in the apartment complex that was just sitting at the picnic table right by where I bring them to go to the bathroom, just drinking and on the phone. And I waited like over an hour trying to wait for her to move on so I could bring my dogs out, and that didn't happen. So finally she walked away from the picnic table while on the phone, and I was like, alright, this is my chance, I gotta get out there. Which, mind you, I've mentioned before in streams, my dog's reactive. She's very quick to bark at things. She's much better than she used to be, I'll give her that. And she's not aggressive. She's never had any issue with trying to lunge at or bite anyone. Like, even if she's barking at someone off leash and they go up to her, she backs away from them. She doesn't try to lunge or go at them. She'll get within like 3 feet of someone and kind of circle them barking when she's anxious, but she will not ever lunge or try to bite. So anyways, she's reactive. And the other dog that I'm taking care of, which is my partner's dog, is slightly reactive. She's not reactive to the point that my dog Nix is, but she does definitely bark at things here and there, especially when Nix already gets her going. Like, if Nix starts barking at something, she'll get concerned and start barking too. So I'm like, I can't bring them out with this lady right here because they're just gonna bark at her, and if they bark at her, even though they need to go to the bathroom and I can't keep waiting, then I get in trouble with my landlord because they're barking at people. So I'm like, I don't know really what to do in this situation. So anyways, she finally walks away towards like our other parking lot on the phone. So I'm like, okay, this is my chance, and I like run to get outside with them, and I'm letting them go to the bathroom, and of course, lo and behold, the lady starts walking back when they haven't even finished going to the bathroom. And then, of course, Nix fixates on her because she sees there's a human that's talking that she doesn't know that's walking towards her. I was looking for the boat I brought. I think it's over that way, so I don't have to put down the one in my inventory. So yeah, Nix started fixating, so I was like, great. She wasn't barking yet, but she was, stiff posture and kind of watching her very closely. And I kept telling her, like, you're alright, leave it, like I normally do, which she was listening to pretty well. Normally at that distance she'd already be barking her head off because it's someone she doesn't know and it's about 10-15 feet away from her. Her threshold is usually a lot further than 10-15 feet. Usually her threshold for being calm and not fixating on something is, I'd say 30 feet is about the closest that something can be, existing without her kind of fixating on it and being anxious. Give or take, because it depends on the situation. Like, if it's like a female and the female isn't paying attention to her or anything, she can get closer, like, 20-ish feet. Like, for example, if there's like some lady that's just getting in and out of her car at the apartment complex in the parking lot and not like looking at her, not talking at her, not just making car door noises and then moving on with their day. She's pretty good about like 20-ish feet or a little less, not being a problem for her at all. But when it's, when it's someone that's talking on the phone very audibly, and she can hear them coming, and she can see them coming, and she thinks they're, coming at her because they're continuing to walk in a straight line in her direction, that's a whole different story as far as her threshold for barking. So, anyways, the lady gets, within 10-15 feet, and she's fixating on her pretty heavily, and watching her really closely, and getting nervous and all that. She's doing really good with her leave it and everything, and she's, I keep telling her, just go potty, and trying to tell her, just mind your business, just go potty, and she does try. She was trying to, like, get ready to go to the bathroom, but then the lady just kept coming closer, even though she saw that both dogs were, like, really fixated on her, because at this point, even the other dog, Bailey, was fixated on her. She wasn't barking yet, but she was fixated. So, like, if I'm a dog person, I love dogs, but if I'm walking towards someone with dogs and I notice that they're, stiff posture fixating on me, I will 1,000,000% either walk away or stop where I'm standing right there and give the dog space, regardless of whether I know they're aggressive or not, regardless of whether I think they're aggressive or not, regardless of if they're the cutest dog in the world and I want to say hi to them or not, because that's basic respect of someone that has animals. And basic respect of animals, because regardless of their situation, animals deserve to have, the respect and the space that they need. But I guess that's just me, because I've learned many times in the past, how old is she? She's almost 4, so in the past almost 4 years of having a reactive dog, I've learned many people are not respectful like that. Even people that know dogs are not very respectful of that concept and not very aware of that concept. Like, I've had people that will straight up reach into my vehicle with their hand through an open window while my reactive dog is barking at them. Like, even if a dog isn't barking at me, I never ever would reach my hand into a vehicle with a dog, because that is their space. That is 1,000,000% their space right now, and that is not something you would do. Unless the owner 1,000,000% told me it was okay, I would never reach into someone's vehicle with a dog. That's just a recipe for disaster. Even non-aggressive dogs would bite in that situation, because it is their space. This is what. So, anyways, I've learned that people don't respect that. There was actually an incident with Bailey the other day. There was an old man that was walking around the parking lot, and he kept getting in our space a little too much when he was walking by towards the other parking lot, because he was walking towards, like, the mailboxes and stuff, and we were letting them go to the bathroom. Both me and my partner were out there, and both dogs were out there, and he walked by a little close, and Nyx tried to bark, but we kept her under control and just kind of told her, like, it's alright, you're fine, just go to the bathroom, and she did. And then he started walking back, so my partner was like, alright, I'll clean up, pick up their poop, because we have to, since it's an apartment complex, and I'll bring it to the dumpster with Bailey, because Bailey's not going to bark at him unless he gets really close, and you can bring Nyx inside so she doesn't bark at him and doesn't cause a problem. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I bring Nixie inside, he brings Bailey over the dumpster. Evidently, when the old man started walking back towards his apartment that was out past the dumpster, he decided to stop and, like, get in their space and be like, what kind of dog is that? And, oh, I used to be afraid of, he was like, oh, that dog's, like, mostly shepherd, isn't it? And my partner was like, yep, it's all shepherd. And he's like, oh, it's a pretty dog. And then he's like, I used to be afraid of dogs like that, but I'm not anymore. And I mean, like, I get it, you're an old dude, you're trying to, be nice and make conversation, but Bailey was barking at him at this point. So, I don't understand the let me stand in your space and keep getting closer while a dog's barking at me thing. Not my thing. But back to the original topic. So, the lady kept coming closer while she was on the phone, and she walked right back over to the picnic table, which is, mind you, less than 5 feet from where the dogs are going to the bathroom. And the picnic table, to give context of why I didn't just, go somewhere else for them to go to the bathroom, the dogs are super finicky, and because their bathroom already gets picked up, they have a hard time, you know, finding where to go. And once they have, you know, a section of the ground that they go to the bathroom on, they really won't go anywhere else. Especially Bailey. Bailey's really particular about that. It actually took us a long time to get her adjusted to going to the bathroom at all at this apartment complex, because my partner moved in with me from where he was living, and it took like a good few weeks to basically re-potty train her, because she wasn't going to the bathroom outside. She couldn't figure out where to go, and she was very confused by it. So it's very particular for them, and if I brought them somewhere else, they probably would not have gone, and it would have just been, you know, a waste of time. Like, Nyx might have, but Bailey definitely wouldn't have, and then it would have been basically a waste of my time, because the whole point of bringing them out at that time was so that they would go to the bathroom and not go to the bathroom inside because they had to go. So if Bailey, you know, didn't go to the bathroom out there, then lo and behold, it would have been a complete waste of time. So yeah, anyways, so I couldn't bring them somewhere else, and even if I did want to bring them somewhere else and tried to, that picnic table is directly in the middle of the line of sight and of the pathway to go anywhere else, so the dogs would have fixated on her anyways, trying to get somewhere else. And then on top of it, it's you know, it's a simple thing to want to go out with your dogs, so I didn't think it would be, you know, such a big deal to hope that the lady went inside at some point in over an hour of time. So I don't know, but she kept walking back towards the table, and she finally got to the table and sat down, and by the time she sat down at the table, that was, you know, probably a 5-6 foot distance from Nyx, and that was what kind of tipped the scales for it being too much for her to handle. And she started barking, which of course was before either of them had fully gone to the bathroom, so they both stopped going to the bathroom fully, and both fixated, and I had to just walk away with the both of them, like, come on, let's go this way. And I brought them inside, and then I came back out to pick up the poop that was from Bailey. And of course the lady was just sitting there on the phone, like, you know, nothing happened. I mean, at least she wasn't, you know, complaining. That's helpful. But if she did complain, she probably could, you know, get bent, because I really wasn't gonna listen to someone complain about a situation that they caused. If I get that close to a dog and a dog barks at me, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, your dog barked at me. I'm gonna be like, oh, my bad. So I don't know. It was just not a nice situation. And I was like frustrated because I wanted to stream, so I'm like, I can't go upstairs and stream Minecraft until the dogs have gone to the bathroom, because they need to go to the bathroom. So what the heck? But yeah, that was just a lovely situation. Nyx did really well considering. She only barked, and when I started walking away from the situation, like removing her from the situation, she came with me fine and didn't like pull on the leash or anything. So she did pretty good considering. And Bailey definitely did pretty good considering too, because she didn't get started by Nyx or anything. She just kind of came with me, and was just watching the lady really cautiously. But I'm hoping that lady is going to be not outside by the time I have to bring them out again before my partner gets home. But we shall see, because she seems to just want to sit out there and drink. There are lovely people in this complex. Like, there's another old man that I honestly can't stand, because he's very creepy, and very heavy on the, like, staring at you in ways that you should not be staring at a human, and very heavy on the, like, specifically coming outside of his apartment and staring at you when you come outside to do something, or come outside to, like, let your dogs out and stuff. And he's been really pushy of boundaries with Nyx even before she was reactive, and then after she was reactive, he just continued. Like, she would be barking at him, and he would stand, like, a couple feet away from her, just staring at her, barking at him. Instead of walking away, instead of, you know, doing something, he would just stand there and stare at her. And then, like, there's been a few occasions that, like, there was one occasion that he had found some sort of weird ball on the side of the highway, and he's like, I got your dog something, and threw it at her. Instead of giving it to me or anything, he threw it at her while she was barking at him. And then I was like, and I picked it up and put it, like, out of her reach, because no thanks. And he's like, I found it on the highway. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want those germs on my dog. I'm all set, you know? I don't want her to get sick, because it's a very busy highway. You don't know, what's touched and not touched that ball. So it's just little things. And I'm sure it's like, oh, you could be nicer to these people, but... And I'm sure I could be, but at the same time, they could also be nicer to me and my dog, so... I don't know. I don't know why it's not a basic respect and basic, common sense concept to give dogs that are reactive or are barking some space. I definitely want to get, like, the leash covers that are, like, give us space, for her, because she does need it, and I feel like people don't pay attention, but I feel like putting the leash cover on it isn't gonna do much difference, because people already don't give her space, and, like, I'm sure people will be like, oh, I want to read what's on the leash type of thing, and I just don't know. Or mistake it for, like, a service dog slip cover or something, and be like, your dog's not a service dog, it's barking at me, and I'm like, no, it's not, it says give us space. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's so many ways that it could go wrong to get a leash cover like that, just knowing how human beings work, especially in my area, and knowing how they respond to things. I just don't think it would work as well as I would like it to, unfortunately. But eventually I'll figure something out, I hope. I would like her to be able to, get past her reactivity and stuff, but that's something that takes a lot of effort and a lot of training and a lot of growth and learning and everything. It's not something that just happens overnight. And I don't expect it to just happen overnight. I don't expect much of her. I don't expect her to, be this perfect dog or do this or do that. I'm really heavy on, like, she's allowed her space and her time and her needs. There's no need to, like, force her into situations that make her anxious and uncomfortable just so that she won't bark at something that she will bark at because she's anxious and uncomfortable. So, I don't know. Someday, somehow, it'll be better, but it's going to be a lot of time and effort and probably a lot of cost, because I definitely have to get some assistance when it comes to training her. I'm going to have to get some trainers involved, I think, and doing so in my area is not very, it's definitely pricey. Being able to get an actual decent trainer that works with reactivity is gonna cost upwards of probably $1,000. There's a dog trainer near me that works with specifically difficult and aggressive dogs, and their, like, 4-week program alone is $1,000, and the actual difficult dog program is an 8-week program. So yeah, it's not gonna be cheap by any means. But I will figure it out eventually, because she does deserve to be able to live a life less stressed out. And I've been doing research and working on it at home too. I work with her training quite frequently, and I do a lot of research on, like, anxiety and how to deal with anxiety in dogs and stuff, just to try to best prepare me to give her the best resources and training that I can give. So it's a work in progress for sure. It's just a lot of, trial and error and effort and treats. I've actually stalled a little in training her lately because of, like, the heat, and having a hard time being outdoors with my heat intolerance. Like, I normally would be bringing her on walks every day when he's working, because I was doing that for a few months, but with how hot it got, it was a little too much for them to be going on walks. The pavement was too hot for their paws, definitely too hot for their paws, which, I mean, they can walk on the edge of the lawns of the people that we walk by and stuff, but there are segments where they absolutely have to walk on pavement, and I would not let them be on pavement that was, over 100 degrees. That was hurting my feet, let alone dog feet. So I hadn't been bringing them out as much for walks, which was one of the biggest things of her training, because it was just, getting her out and about and having her experience situations where there are people around, whether they're, in their yard or getting in and out of their car in their driveway or on a walk themselves and stuff like that. Just being able to be generally in the vicinity of people and get her threshold a little lower. It was helping a lot, and it was really important to her training, and I just haven't been keeping up with it. I'm also running out of training treats, and I don't have the money for more training treats, so it's a little difficult. She's been learning tricks, or relearning some of the tricks she's forgotten, and, doing basic commands and tricks at home, and doing, learning a focused walk, a focused, strict guideline walk at times, too, but it's more called a structured walk, I believe. It's basically when you're taking your dog on a walk and they have to remain in a heel and remain mostly in eye contact with you the whole walk. It's considered a structured walk. It's useful for dogs that are reactive or that have heavy mental needs, like they need mental enrichment and stuff, which is pretty heavy for her because she is 60% German Shepherd, so she has that busy brain that needs to constantly be activated to be able to actually have a more well-balanced and enriched dog. So I've been teaching her structured walks, and we do it around the apartment complex and stuff here and there, but it's all a lot of work in progress and effort and time, but there is a lot coming up this month. Completely different topic. I'm pretty sure that's what I was gonna say before I started talking about the dog. There's a lot coming up this month, so I'm hoping to stream more often, but I don't know how often. I normally stream either when it's his days off and he's going to, go hang out with friends or whatever, or when I get time to while he's working. I normally don't get time to while he's working because, honestly, with how little sleep I get when on the nights that he's working, because we're usually up late and then have to get up early, I usually end up napping for a decent portion of his work day, and then the other portion I'm trying to do other stuff I have to get done, which I'm trying to improve a little. This past week was the first week he was back at work in a while, and I managed to only nap on, I think, 2 days of it. 2 out of 4 days, I think I napped on, which, and the naps were a lot shorter. Normally I was napping for an extra, 6-ish hours, if not more, almost every day that he was working, which adds up fast when it's only a 12-hour shift that he works for most days, and then a couple other days he doesn't work the full 12-hour shift. So, yeah. Just, not as helpful to be napping so much, so I was hoping to do a little better this week when he went back into work, and I did. And I'm hoping to continue that habit, but we'll see. Honestly, I slept 8 or 9 hours last night, and I'm exhausted, so it's not the best. My body definitely is a little bit of an oversleeper. My body needs 10 to 12 hours most of the time, which isn't actually as far-fetched as I thought it was, because, there's all the studies that are humans that are adults need 6 to 8 hours of sleep at most, and ironically those studies were based on mostly male participants, which does make a difference contrary to popular belief, because when they did studies based on mostly female participants, they realized that the statistics actually more so skewed towards a well-balanced sleep being in the 9 to 12 hour range, depending on their health needs and, you know, what point in their cycle they are and stuff like that. So it's a little different for AFAB people, but who knows? It's definitely something that I get a lot of contention with my partner about, because he's, you know, of the variety of people that can sleep 2 to 4 hours and still function, not happily, but still function. And I don't. Like, if I have 2 to 4 hours of sleep, I still would pass out behind the wheel driving, actively trying to focus on driving. Like, it's not, I will pass out standing up. It's not something that's sustainable or possible for me. So, a little bit of a difference there, and he's pretty heavy on the, like, you don't need that much sleep. You're just, you know, being lazy and stuff like that. So, you know, to each their own as far as the mindsets on things. But I'm trying to improve it, because I do want to have time to do the things I like to do while he's working, like to be able to play games or write or read, or even, you know, clean the apartment. Like, I have to once a week or multiple times a week, but once a week is a big deep clean, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's life right now. There's a crafts fair coming up locally to me this weekend that I'm really hoping to make it to. I have to keep an eye on the weather and stuff and see. Of course I did. I just realized I did that. Damn it. And he's not gonna be home in time. Ugh. Sorry, my brain just remembered I needed to make a phone call today, and I had to use his phone because my phone doesn't have service, and he's not home. And they'll be closed by the time he gets home, probably. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, there's a crafts fair coming up this weekend that I'm excited about, and I really hope I can go to, but it'll be when he's working, so I'll be in charge of the dogs, which means it has to be decent enough weather that they can safely be in the truck for max of an hour while I walk around the fair. So I have to keep an eye on the weather and the timing of when I go so that it can be shaded and safe for them. I'm not gonna go if it's too hot for them, because I'm not, even if I really enjoy the fair, the crafts fair, it's not worth it to put them in an uncomfortable or dangerous situation just for my sake. I'm not about that. I know plenty of people are like, I can just leave my dog in the car in, you know, 100-degree weather. I don't do that. I'm not that person. Honestly, like, anything over 80 degrees, I will not leave my dogs in unless the windows are all the way down and it's very brief. And the windows can't be all the way down when you have dogs that would jump out the window if something got too close. So, yeah. It's, I don't know. But it said that it's supposed to be low or mid-70s, so it might be okay enough to keep them in the shade for a little bit for me to walk around. And of course, I still leave the windows down quite a decent portion, even in the 70s. I'm not one of those people that just, like, barely cracks the window and says, oh, they have air. I hate that. So, I'm pretty heavy on trying to give them as much window as I can, and as much air and airflow as I can. So, yeah. We'll see how it goes, and if I'll be able to go. And then the weekend after that is actually the state fair. I live in New Hampshire. It's not New Hampshire State Fair. It's the fair that's of a bigger town in New Hampshire. I don't want to say it specifically because, like, if I go, I don't want people on the internet to know specifically where I am. But it's a fair that's a couple hours away from me, and it's a pretty big fair, and it's a really nice place to go, and I normally go every single year with my father because it's been a tradition since I was a small child. I've missed maybe 2 years of this fair in my lifetime, and it looks like I might miss another year this year, because it is a couple weeks away, but it's on the weekend, which is when my partner works, and the dogs can't be home alone. It's just not allowed with our apartment, and it's not something we would do to them. So, they can't be home alone, and I don't have anyone else that could watch them for me, because the person that would watch them for me would be my dad, and I want to go to the fair with my dad, so something doesn't add up there. But yeah, and it's raining. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll be able to go to the fair this year, because normally, he could just, my partner could just request the day off for that day, and, take the day off to stay home with the dogs and watch them, but, I don't think that's a possibility when we have so many bills to pay right now. I don't think it'll add up money-wise, so it probably won't be a possibility this year, which, it happens. It sucks, but it happens. We'll see, though. I don't know what else is going on this month. This month was both of my brother's birthdays. Today is actually one of my brother's, 17th birthday. And then last week, plus a couple days, was, my younger brother, my other brother's, 19th birthday. So, they're both growing up, which I keep telling them is not allowed, being an older sister, but alas, it keeps happening. I'll be 23 this year, which is wild to me, especially considering where I wanted myself to be at this age and where I'm not, where I am and where I'm not. It's just a lot to wrap my head around and reckon with, so yeah. I don't know what else I want to do on this world today. I could try to get back up to level 30 to get an enchant going on something. That's what I was going to do, look for the diamond pick. Yeah, we do have the diamond pick, it's right here. I could see what's available for enchants for that. I could also use these to make some more TNT. To do some more TNT mining in the nether for some XP and some debris. I don't really know why I'm going for debris at this stage in the game. I'm not really at the point where it's that helpful to be going after debris, but I wonder if I have books that would help me with this, like if I have any fortune or efficiency books or unbreaking books. I know we got some good books from fishing. What do we have? Silk Touch. Efficiency 3 Mending. But that's Frostwalker. I wouldn't really want to give up Frostwalker. That's an insane book. Efficiency 4, because I wouldn't use Impaling or Bane of Arthropods. Efficiency 4, Sharp 4, and Looting. Yeah, so that's an Efficiency 4 book, which might be useful. I don't know, maybe we'll go TNT mine some in the nether and get some better levels. See what we can do. Why not? Yeah, I don't know. I'll bring the diamond pick with me just in case, but I don't know if I really want to use it right now when it's not enchanted. Because I think the more you wear it down, the worse your odds are on enchants, isn't it? Also, I don't know what was happening last
game. Yesterday, for some reason... Oh, shoot. They're gonna be angry at me. I gotta run. Yesterday, for some reason, the Hoglins weren't getting angry at me. I was trying to get them angry at me and then hide in the hole and kill them, and they were just, like, running away from me. But I just realized I don't have any gold armor on, so this is gonna be a bit of a rough time. Because piglins have been spawning down in this area that we've been mining out to. Alright, oh, there's XP I left here. Alright, I'm trying to optimize how far apart these are, but I'm not very good at it. Oop, there's some quartz right there. Yeah, like I said, these guys have been spawning, and they're not big fans of me when I don't have gold armor on. But hey, it's XP, I guess. And I could always use it as like a trap to like set down some gold swords on the ground that I get from them. Trade out my map for some building blocks. The game's very laggy right now. I don't think it's very pleased with me. I'm trying to optimize it so that they set each other off, but they're not, you know, super far apart. I'm not very good at it. There's a lot of those guys spawning. God damn it, why am I missing? That was terrible. And I have to come pick up the arrows that I missed with. Whoa, lag. Yeah, the game's not happy. It's very laggy. I don't know why so many of those piglins are spawning. We must be underneath a biome for them or something. They weren't spawning nearly as often yesterday when I was down here. Oh god, here they all are. Oh god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Up, 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 up. Eat. God. There's so many of them. Trade with your dead brethren's remains, please. Why is it so laggy? The lag is driving me a little bonkers. We have one last TNT to use, which I think I'll place right there, because I don't want it directly underneath one of those blocks to be blocked but I also don't want it too far away from them. Just some gold. Alright. Well, I guess that's all. Because I'm out of TNT again. Are you a piglin? No, you're a zombied. Oh great, screw you guys. I didn't want to pick up that bow. I was hoping the lag didn't let me pick it up. No, we get a couple levels out of 7 TNT. Not the worst. Not the best either, though. I think if I hit the 2-hour mark and my partner still isn't on his way home, I might just get off anyways and just spend some time reading. I don't know for sure though. The house is definitely very bare bones as well. Like I'm aware of that. I'm not planning for this to be the constant state of my house forever. I just also am not planning to spend a bunch of time and effort on it yet, because I still am planning what I want with it, and I'm still working on figuring out what's gonna go where and what I need and don't need in this house. I basically did the bare bones of what I need: a bedroom, which is half finished. Excuse me. Goodness, excuse me. Bedroom, which is half finished, a chest room, which will become a utility room eventually as well, and an enchant room and a kitchen, because I knew I wanted a kitchen, so I made a kitchen. And a TV, which probably will be honestly removed or moved because it's really not that good of a setup. And then just basically front and back door. This is gonna be glassed in. I just didn't know if I was gonna make tinted glass or not, which I should have gotten some amethyst for. I didn't know if I wanted to do tinted glass or gray stained glass. I want it to be like a tint to it, because I want this to be like a greenhouse area, like have some plants and stuff. Same thing with up here is going to be like a little plant area off of my bedroom. So that's the plan for there. This whole house was actually based off of the house from a certain movie of childhood, which I'm sure it doesn't look very similar, but it was based off of the house from what is it? The Spiderwick Chronicles movie, which I grew up watching. It's not like obviously an exact replica or anything, but it had like the main house and then the porch and then an outcropping here and an outcropping there and then a round tower that went up behind the porch. So it was supposed to basically look like that, but Minecraftified and not, very accurate to color and all that. Oh, I missed. I think I'm gonna farm a little tonight to try to get some gunpowder back, to try to get some more. Oh, that didn't work. I thought he would only be a 2-shot if I crit him once. He was not, in fact, a 2-shot from 1 crit. But yeah, I just wanted to make it generally the basis of that house. I had like a picture of it that I was looking at the whole time I was building my house. So it was just supposed to kind of generally resemble it. Not an exact replica by any means. That was not the intent. Because honestly, exact replica would be very difficult to make because you'd have to use probably concrete and stuff to get the right coloring and all that, so I just wanted an early game version of it. Oh, I'm gonna mute for a second. That was a whole cluster mess for no reason. My partner was calling me, but I guess it was an accidental call. And then I picked it up, but it said call failed because he hung up at the same time that I picked up, so I thought it was my phone being dumb because I don't have cell service right now, so I thought my phone was being grumpy at me, but I guess it was just his end. I don't know. And then I tried to call him back because I thought my phone hung up the call, but it didn't work because my phone wasn't the one that hung up the call, his was. Yeah, just a little cluster mess. For no reason. No good reason. But it happens. I don't know why my arrow pad isn't working very well on this, this remote. Trying to kill creepers, damn it. I have to pay attention to the moon phases at some point and actually come out during one of the moon phases that creepers spawn the most in. Because trying to farm creepers while everything else is spawning like crazy is really irritating, as y'all have seen. It's how I've died many times. Many, many times in this world. But I got some armor on, so that should help a little with the unwanted mobs. I just want creepers. There are a couple creepers. Nope, my sword broke. Perfect timing for that. Haha. I still managed to kill all of them. I'm gonna kill these guys if I can because I do need more bones and arrows. And there was a creeper over here I wanted to kill. I'm glad that arrow actually shot. I thought he was gonna blow up in my face and murk me. I'm not used to actually having to craft arrows like I've been doing on this world, because normally I get so many of them from killing skellies and stuff that I don't really need them. Like in the world I have with my partner right now, we have a skeleton farm because we found a skeleton spawner, and I optimized it to be one of the farms for it, where you basically make the big hole around it and then put underneath water underneath the spawner, and then make a water elevator that they go up in after they spawn, and then they fall down to take perfect fall damage to be one hit. So we set up one of those, and we farm it so often for XP for mending everything that we have like easily 50 stacks of arrows just kicking around on our world. And then on top of it we have a full villager farm. Not villager farm, but like a full villager building that's huge with a bunch of trading villagers. So, which includes Fletchers obviously, because those are the easiest to get emeralds from. So I have a constant supply of any sort of arrows that I would need, because it either costs 1 emerald for 16 or, you know, just free to grab out of a chest. So not something that's a very finite resource, versus on this world it's definitely a little bit more limited. Oh my god, I can't hit. What the heck? I cannot land arrows. God. What am I doing? No wonder I'm running out of arrows all the time. Landing them would probably help. I'm tossing any bows I don't need into the water. I really don't like having so many half-broken bows. Drives me a little crazy. Okay. I gotta check that message, because that was my partner answering me, I'm pretty sure. But I'd like to get safely closer to home, so any lingering mobs that haven't died or despawned don't sneak up on me. I love that I just keep getting spammed by bots about easy, cheap stream viewers. Like, I would cheat stream viewers that way. I mean, I guess to each their own, but I really have zero interest in cheating stream viewers. There's no point. Yeah, if I get, you know, X amount of average viewers, I can have VIP unlocked and get on affiliate and all that, but I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to just actually get those. I think it's better to just actually get those viewers over time than to try to pay a price to get them. Not really worth it. Sorry, I'm checking my phone real quick, and an author had mentioned me in their story about a review I made. Which is ironic, because I made a review about one of her other books yesterday, and I didn't get a mention or reply, but then this one. This one she happened to notice and reposted, which is cool. She's a pretty big author, so, I mean, she's not like, you know, traditional publisher, huge, but she has 8,000 followers on Instagram, and that's just on Instagram, because I'm pretty sure her TikTok's bigger. So, definitely pretty crazy to be acknowledged amidst the probably tons of tags and stuff she gets every day about her books. I loved her books. The author is Randy Garner, and she wrote The Goddess of, and then Even in Death, and then Ache of Chaos will be the third book, which comes out this year at some point. which I'm really excited for. But yeah, she wrote some really good books. I absolutely adore them. They were like devour in one sitting, even though they're 800-page books type reads, and they had really good like romance quotes and fantasy elements and slow burn vibes and a bunch of really cool stuff. And I loved it. It was a really good read. Both of them were. One of them was a male romance, so it was a gay romance, which when done right is really freaking good to read, because it's just a different dynamic and it's really nice. But yeah, it was they both are really good. And then the third one's going to be about another, so it's like, okay, I'm going to babble about it, but it's this interconnected series, fantasy series, where it's like deities exist alongside humans, but not really, and this one deity was born and there's like high and lesser deities of everything, so like the high deity of that area of expertise is the one that's kind of in charge and in command of everyone, in their own expertise and in other areas. And the high goddess of the sea was like this really cruel, terrible lady, and she had a daughter, and they're supposed to be given like their titles of what deity they are at birth, and her daughter was not given one. Her daughter was born without a title, and like without any noticeable, like god or goddess powers. So she was like treated her like dog crap and was really terrible to her, and then like cursed her to be bound to the ocean that they lived in forever. So she like got old enough and had to break that curse somehow, and then in doing so she was fleeing from home, and had all of her siblings and her mother out to get her throat, and she met a human that they both ended up being very entangled in each other's lives, but the human has a very massive secret to do with gods and goddesses, and like absolutely can't stand deities and how much they mess with mortal lives. And to top it all off, she's very like naive and doesn't know anything about the human world, since she hasn't been out from under the sea in decades on decades. So yeah, it was like this whole intricate, intertwined story, and then the first book mainly focused on her story and on her romance with the man that she fell in love with out of the mortal man that she fell in love with. And then the second book, Even in Death, was focused on two characters that existed in the first book but weren't really discussed, and it kind of intertwined underneath the events that happened in book one, but it also extended before and after those events. So it was like a really interesting kind of mix-up it was like a timeline mix-up a little bit. So like it started, before all of this, and then it happened around the same time of the events, and then it continued past those events. And oh my god, the second book was so good. It was so much of like forbidden, like cannot be with each other because of circumstance and everything and all that. And it was so good. I highlighted so many things in that book. And then the third one, Ache of Chaos, is about another two characters that existed in a tiny bit in book one, barely in book one, but they existed some in book two. And then they'll have their own kind of book three. And I'm really, really hoping to be able to get on the ARC team for book three, because I was on the ARC team for book two, and oh my god, I loved it, and I would really love to be able to get a hold of book three before it releases and devour it. But we'll see. I'm not like absolutely tied to having to be on it, because I don't mind buying the ebooks from her. I actually was on the ARC team for book two and still bought the ebook from Amazon, because she was doing pre-order incentives where you get some really cool like art prints and stuff if you pre-ordered the ebook, and I did so that I would get like the cool artwork, and I love it. But so now I own it both as like the free art copy and on my Kindle app, so I'm totally fine with if I have to buy book three. I just would really, really love to be on the ARC team for book three. But I'm glad it's not slotted to even come out for months, because my arcs are very, very overloaded right now. For anyone listening that doesn't know what arcs are, they're advanced reader copies. They're copies of a book that you get for free, either as an ebook, like an EPUB file or a PDF, or as a physical copy. Physical copies for arcs are very few and far between. They're more done by like big publishers than indie authors, and I read mostly indie authors online and lately in general. And getting a hold of big publishers to get physical arcs is pretty difficult if you don't have a very, very big following. And while I do have around 1,500 followers on TikTok, it's not, it's not a huge following by any means. It's not something that like publishers are like, oh my god, I want to give you a free book just to reach out and, get the word out. Because at best, most of my book reviews get 200 to 300 views. So it's not that much reach. But for indie authors that are, more open to ARC readers of any level of followers, as long as you're, giving reviews and getting the book out there and being honest about it, it's a lot easier to get on ARC teams, and it's a lot more fun to get on ARC teams for indie authors. Like, there are so many indie authors that do, like, giveaways when they're ARC teams, and get you on their street team where you get all kinds of cool promotions and marketing tips and, stuff like pre-made images to post about their books or about the author, and you get to interact with the people that read the books, and it's just so much more of a community based thing, and I love it. And ARC reading for indie authors usually means that you get a lot more opportunity to continue reading books if you like that author. Like, I am on a permanent ARC team for Aurora Steinhardt. She's a really amazing author. She's written a few different genres now. She's written fantasy and fantasy/romantasy and romance. And I started off reading her first romance book that she published because she reached out to me around my birthday and was like, hey, for your birthday, do you want like an early copy of my ARC, like before I'm even putting out ARCs? And I was like, oh my god, yes please, thank you. And I got it, and I read it, and I loved it. And then I interacted with her so much, like, through DMs and everything, that she just put me on her permanent arcs. Like, I don't even have to apply to her arcs anymore. She just, like, even if I've been out of touch with social media, because her last release, that's coming out soon, Checked and Balanced, I had not been on social media in a hot minute, so I hadn't, like, realized she was coming out with another book for arcs at all. And all of a sudden I had, like, the email in my inbox, like, here's your copy of Checked and Balanced, and I'm like, huh? What happened? But it's because she still has me on her permanent team, which I'm super grateful for, because I absolutely love her writing, so I'm glad I still got to read it without having to like be there for the forums, because I was not there for the forums. But I even got to, she's awesome, I got to beta read her manuscript for her fantasy book, Hunted by Fate, which is friggin' amazing. It's like it's a succubus fantasy tale. I have to go to the bathroom, so I will continue this in a second. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm gonna get up here where it's safe, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Hello. I also just realized I didn't check that message. Oh, I did check that message. Okay, I thought I didn't check that message from my partner. I did. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, so yeah, being on indie author teams, you get a lot of like permanent ARC teams and stuff that you normally wouldn't get access to. Don't tell me that's him going home now. I just got into the rhythm of talking about something I like talking about. It's probably him saying he's on his way home. No, it doesn't. Okay. I have to send him a snap back. Anyways, so, yeah, you get on a lot of permanent teams. Like, Aurora, I'm on her permanent team now because she's amazing, and, yeah, I got to actually early read her Hunted by Fate book, which is about, a succubus who is also, like, queen of the realm, and she meets Asher, who is a human who has lived in a realm with no magic and no, knowledge of much besides the fact that they know that, succubus are taking their men, and, they think that they're taking them and killing them, or taking them and using them for sex, because succubus. So they've kind of thought that the world has turned into a kill or be killed situation, because with so many men being taken, their world has completely crumbled. Like, there's, just factions left, and a completely barren world where they can pretty much eat, like, maybe a deer if they're lucky, but mostly just rats that they find. And he ends up being taken by Queen Seraphina, who isn't queen at the time. Sorry, I got a scratchy throat, so I had to cough. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. My tea is cold, but hopefully it still helps my throat a little. So he gets taken by Queen Seraphina, who isn't queen at the time, and taken in as a prisoner, who ends up turning into a useful, basically, slave for Seraphina, because she uses him for information and to glean what she can from him of knowledge about the human realm. And amidst it all, she's being called to be queen by her peers and the council, and at the same time, the entire realm she lives in is losing its magic, and she's fighting to figure out how to fix it, and they have to travel to different realms, and they fight different enemies, and infiltrate different species, and all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's this big, long adventure. It is a chunky book, oh my god. So that's the other thing I love about being on permanent ARC teams and about indie ARC reading, is I got the ARC copy, and because I read the beta manuscript for her like 4 or 5 times as she was developing it, and gave her a bunch of feedback, and then I even ARC read, the final ebook copy, and did a bunch of feedback on that, and a bunch of reviews, and like raved about it, because it deserves it. And then she got ready for physical copies, and she sent me a book box with a physical copy, because a physical signed copy, because she was like, you deserve it, you've done so much work on this manuscript, like, you've been giving me feedback from the very early days of this book existing, so, like, you totally deserve it. So I got a free signed copy of a really good book that is a chunka, like, it is a 700 or 800 page book, which is pretty big in person. It's like a brick, and I love it. It's so pretty. And, like, she gave me that, and some, like, an art print, and some cool little goodies, and friggin' Reese's eggs, and, like, she's the sweetest. But yeah, so, like, that's the other really cool thing about ARC reading for indie authors. Like, I've gotten 2 or 3 book boxes from indie authors associated with, like, ARC reading for them, because I won, giveaways, or they did, like, a giveaway of a book box out of all their ARC readers, and stuff like that. It's a really good experience. It's one of the best things, if you love reading, to get into, especially if you have any sort of online presence, because it's easy, it's simple, it's amazing, it's one of the best things. And I mean, indie authors a lot of them don't even care if you have an online presence. They just care that you're going to give them honest reviews, like if you're going to review on, Goodreads and Amazon and stuff like that for them, which I can't do right now, because Amazon has the lovely rule where you have to spend $50 in the last 12 months as a minimum to be able to review, and I haven't had money to spend anything on Amazon, or any need to order things off Amazon, so I haven't been able to do reviews on Amazon, which sucks. But I use Goodreads and Storygraph, and I post my reviews on Instagram and TikTok. And it's such a fun thing. I love it. I'm actually probably going to do streams where I book babble more often about what I'm reading and the authors that I love and stuff, because this is really fun to talk about, and I could talk about it for hours, no issue. but like another author I'm on a semi-permanent ARC team of is Cara Blaine. She has a lot of books out. I've been on her ARC team for almost a whole year, and she does yearly re-ups for her permanent ARC team, where she checks in every year and is like, hey, do you still want to be, on my ARC team for any releases coming in the next year, and that sort of thing. And she hasn't re-upped with me yet because it's only been about a year, or under a year, that I've been on her team. But since I've been on her team, I've been able to ARC read 3 reads from her. One was a poetry read, which was really good, and 2 were fantasy reads, which were also amazing, and I love them. And it's been so fun. I love it. I read a lot of indie reads this year and a lot of ARCs this year and last year, because I've been on TikTok as a platform applying for, indie ARCs since... That's honestly one of the biggest reasons I started my platform, was because I wanted to be able to get free books, because I don't have the money to spend on books very often, and it's an expensive world out there for books right now. And I do find ways to get free and cheap books, like the library sales, where it's only $1 a book or less, or my local library where I lived as a kid, that I still visit pretty often, every week during the summertime gives away free books. Like, they just have so many donated and discarded books that they just give away a bunch of them for free, because they're like, people deserve to have them. I mean, they have like their donation bin out, and they're like, if you want to donate you can, but they're straight up free. You can just have them. I always donate because I love that library and I love what they stand for and I want to support them, but I donate $5 when I take 20 plus books, so it's not by any means the price that books are right now. And there's been plenty of weeks where I don't have the cash on me and I just grab a few free ones and I don't donate that week. So, it's a free source of really good reads. And then there's, other ways to get free and cheap books often. But as far as indie reads and as far as new books that are coming out, it's not very easy to find free or cheap books. You usually have to wait until they're in stores, and when they're in stores, they're pretty pricey. So I knew that, if you had a little bit of a following and you're consistent about posting content about it, you could get free ARC reads from authors. So I was like, I need that. And I started my platform, and lo and behold, I'm at 1,500 something followers now, so I get a decent amount of traction, and I get really easy acceptance into ARC teams. And I'm now on a PR team, Happily Booked PR, which is a whole team that does ARC reads through a bunch of authors at once. So you can apply for ARC reads for like anything you could think of through them, and you get ARC reads. And then they're a little more in-depth. They're like, you have some posting requirements as far as what you need to post of images leading up to the release, and you have a deadline for when your reviews have to be in, versus general ARC reads for most indie authors. They're like, there's no rush to get a review out. I would love it if you could get it out before release, but if you don't, it's life, it happens. And if you don't finish the book for whatever reason, it's life, it happens. Like, they're a lot more open and okay with the idea that it takes time. But I've never really been that late on reviews for them, because they're so good every time that I race to write about them and talk about them and make videos about them. I've read probably at least 50 ARCs in the last 2 years, which has been insane to me, because there's so many opportunities, 50 might be high, but it's a lot. I could probably go through and count them, but I'm not going to. Because it's across like 3 different apps, because I get some on Kindle app, I get some that they direct send to my Kindle direct email, and then I get some that I get the EPUB for, which means I read them in my Books app on my iPhone, and then I get some that I get specifically through BookFunnel that I read through the BookFunnel app. So they're scattered everywhere. But I mean, honestly, I'm going to do a quick count of my BookFunnel ones just out of curiosity in a second, because I do want to know the number now. So I will tell you guys after I finish this next one. Alright, where's my BookFunnel app? I gotta know. Please tell me that isn't him coming home. I'm happy talking right now. Three... Oh wow, I need to check my BookFunnel app more often. There are actually some ARCs in here I haven't seen. No, I think that one I do have it. It's in my inbox. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 46 books in my book funnel app. So yeah, I would say 50, because like I said, there are some that aren't in this app, and there are some that I just downloaded and stuff. So, oh, I didn't even have to count them. It says at the top of your thing, 46 books. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, 46 in my book funnel app, and that's not even including the ones that are just in my books app or just in my Kindle app. So definitely 50 or so within the last couple years. And it's been amazing. I love indie reads. There's so many good authors I've come across. There's so many cool opportunities I've had. I got, oh my god, what's her name? I gotta look it up on BookFunnel and see what her name is, because I can't remember her author name offhand. Shoot. I know the books I'm thinking of. I know the titles, but I don't remember her author name. Oh, what is it? Jocelyn Childs. Jocelyn Childs is an author that I had an amazing opportunity for. I ARC read 2 out of I think 3 of her series. I gotta actually double check her social media and see if her next book has come out yet. That's the one problem with having so many followers on TikTok, is that I'm also following a bunch of people on TikTok, because BookTok's really heavy on like making sure you have like mutuals and, you know, having a community and not just having people follow you just to follow you, because it's a lot harder to build up a following on TikTok in the BookTok community if you're not following people back. You can do it, but you have to focus more on like trendy, viral, really well put together videos that will gain you followers just for the sake of the videos, versus gaining followers to, you know, have community and talk with people about reads and interact with other people in the community. So I'm kind of more of the community end of things. I'm more heavy on, like, I have a lot of mutuals. I have probably over 1,000 mutuals. So following so many people means that it's hard for me to keep up with, you know, the dozens of authors that I've read books for, unless I'm specifically searching for them. So every once in a while, when an author comes back to mind that I've read for before, I'll search their account up and try to see what they've done for releases since the last time I read for them. Which I'll have to check on that, because she was writing a series that I read 2 of, the Circle of Light and Into the Shadows books, which were so good. So good. I loved them. They were amazing books. And that's one of my favorite book wins that I've had, is that I won some physical copies from her, and I got 2 hardcover copies that are absolutely gorgeous, and they are signed, and they had a bunch of like themed goodies to do with like the setting of the books, and there was like a cool pen and like a face mask, I think, and just so much cool stuff. It was awesome. It was one of my favorite book boxes I've had to date. My other favorite one would be from, oh, what's her name? She's one of the first authors I ARC read for, and one of the first ever authors that sent me book mail. Once in a Blue Moon was her book. M.A. Ramsey Scales. I knew it was an M.A. name because I have a few M.A. authors that I've read for. M.A. Ramsey Scales. She sent me probably my top favorite book mail that I've gotten ever so far, because she sent me a copy of her book, which had sprayed edges and was signed, and the book box had a really cool mug and stickers and a whole bunch of teas and like hot drinks and a cool pen and some book flags for annotating and like a book tote, and there was just so many things in the package. It was insane. It was like absolutely stuffed full, and I was so grateful because I won it for free. And I was so excited, and I still am excited about it all the time, and I still love that copy. That's like one of my favorite indie copies I have. So basically, moral of the story is there are some really good opportunities when it comes to ARCs, and I absolutely love it, and I would not change a single thing about the fact that I am an ARC reader for so many authors. I love it. It definitely gets a little exhausting and burnout-y from time to time, because, you know, trying to keep up with so many ARC reads means that once in a while I get a little bogged down and overloaded with them. Like, right now I had the other day, or like last week probably, because I've caught up some, last week, I had probably about 6 to 8 books I had to read still of arcs that I had the downloads on, and they release, within the next month, and I had not even started half of them because I was still in the middle of another one that I had of an arc read. But I'm catching up slowly but surely, so it's getting a little easier, but it's all just a matter of, I'm just fishing to be able to chat and to be able to keep increasing my XP. By the way, I'm not trying to just waste time, I'm trying to get XP, but and it gets good items for enchants and stuff, so it's a win-win. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool arc reads that are out there that I've been on and that I would love to be on, so I'm excited. Right now I'm reading Tower of the Lost Princess, which releases later this year. It's a Rapunzel meets Robin Hood type retelling. Inspired. The characters are very heavily inspired by the Rapunzel tale and by the Robin Hood tale. I don't know the full what happens and stuff because I just started it, and I go pretty heavily into arcs based on my first impressions of them, rather than based on, the full detailing of the whole storyline and plot and the story blurb. So I just saw Rapunzel-based retelling, and it was like, no way, I want to read that, and I signed up for the arcs. So I don't actually fully know what happens in it, or what the blurb is for it. But I know it's good so far. I've been sucked in. The one I just finished was Imposter, which don't even get me started on that. Oh my god, Jam Rose is the author, and the first book she wrote was Usurper? Was it Usurper? Or was Usurper just the names in the book? Oh, looks like I'll be getting off soon anyways. Was it Usurper? I want to say it was Usurper. Now I have to do digging. I can do pretty easy digging though, because I think I can just go on Goodreads and open the one I'm reading now and see the other one that she wrote. Children of Lorcan is the series. Yes, Usurper was book 1. I read Usurper as an arc, and this is a 1,000 page fantasy read about vampires and humans and vampire royalty amidst one of many vampire royalty kingdoms in the world, and this prince loses his title because of a big incident that happens on his coronation day that shouldn't have happened, and he learns a lot about life and about other, how other people show up for you, and about hard work, and about the importance of found family, and then also about love when he ends up leaving home. And anyways, fast forward, after a lot of loss and terrible stuff happening, book 2 is about his child. Dimitri was the prince in the first book. Prince turned to exile, and the second book is mainly focused on his child Nikolai, who actually isn't his child in parts of the terms. He was completely raised by him, but the actual father was Dimitri's best friend who passed away, and he has to go be the next person in line for the throne, because now that Dimitri has been exiled, his little brother ended up being the king and insisted that Dimitri's firstborn comes and signs up to be the crown prince. And because of all the drama between the family and everything, the father didn't really tell Nikolai much before Nikolai was taken to be crown prince, and be trained and everything. So he's kind of going into everything blind. He didn't really know much about the world of vampires. He didn't know about, the royalty and the politics and all of the learning and the language and everything. I mean, he knew one strain of the language from his father always teaching him it as a child, but that's about it out of, 3 or 4 strains of language that are there. Dialects would be better.
And then there's also a romance aspect in this, because Nikolai falls in love, and there's, a mythology aspect in this because the person that he falls in love with has a very different faith than what Raspian, the place he is crown prince to, has, and believes in, 7 main deities, and has a different language and different customs and all kinds of stuff, which is really cool because I can actually pick up on the fact that the entire religious system that she created in these books, or I'd say they, because I don't actually know if they, she, her, that they created in these books, J.M. Rose did, that is based off of ancient Egyptian mythology, at least to an extent. Like, there are definitely some overlaps in the symbolism and the customs and even the gods and their names and stuff, which is really interesting because I absolutely love Egyptian mythology, but I also love that they took their own twist on it. But it was another 1,000-page book, so it took me a hot minute to get through, even though I absolutely loved it and was devouring it. So it made me a little behind on my other arcs because it's just, they're very long. Like, my last few arcs have been 600 to 1,000 pages. So I'm catching up little by little, but it's not going very well. It's definitely slow. So, yeah. But I love reading, so it gives me something to do. My goal for this year was, I think, 175 books, which I don't think I'm going to hit. I'm not anywhere near it right now, and we're pretty heavily into the year. So unless I get myself in gear and start reading, 8 hours a day like I used to, and actually racing through books again, it's pretty unlikely I'll hit that goal. I haven't been reading as much as I did last year, because last year I was devouring arcs at the same time as reading Kindle reads, at the same time as reading a physical read, and then devouring physical reads, and it was just a lot, because I was constantly getting new physical reads from free and cheap sales, and from getting free books every week from, my library giving away books. So I was just on it. I was reading and reading and reading and reading. And this year I haven't been getting as many free books. I've been trying to organize the ones that I have for once. I got a cough, 1 second. Goodness, I was like holding it in and it kept coming out little by little. But yeah, I haven't been getting as many free books this year because I've been trying to organize the ones that I have for once, which isn't going well. I have I use Pango Books to sell books that I am trying to get rid of, and Pango's really slow going. You sell a book every once in a while. Sometimes you sell a multi-book bundle. When I was selling last year and the year before on this platform, I was selling 20 to 40 books at a time once in a while, and then other than that it was trickles of 1 to 3 books or 1 to 5 books at a time here and there. I've sold upwards of over 100 books through that platform, but I still have probably 60 or 70 that are listed right now that I want to get rid of, that are not getting rid of. I made all of them, I think, 80% off right now of their prices, so literally every book that's listed is, pretty much every single book that's listed is under $2 a piece, which actually means I lose money, because there's, the platform fees and everything. So I actually usually end up with negative income from them, but I just want them gone. I want them off the shelf. The shelf that I use for it is like a specific shelf, and I want that shelf emptied so I can use it to organize more of my books, so it's not, just continuing to take up more space. And because I'm at the point where I'm actively, losing money on these sales, I was just going to donate them, because I was doing it that way so that I earned a little bit of money to get rid of them. But now that I'm at the point where I just want them gone so bad I'm actively losing money, I may as well just give them away. But my local library doesn't, the actual one that's local to me, not the one I grew up around, doesn't take donations, especially not in large quantities, so they wouldn't take, 70 books from me at once. My other option would be, there's a used bookstore in the town over next to me, but I don't really want to go there because they give you credit for your books instead of just taking them in, and the credit system's kind of complicated, and I don't even want credit. I just want to get rid of them and let someone else have them.
which sounds dumb, but, you know, they give you credit that's like 20 to 50% of the book value, depending on its current value, not the original value, and its condition. And then you can use that credit for like up to 50% of a purchase of a book, but it depends on what type of book you're buying and how new it is of the book you're buying as to how much of the percentage that you can use. And then you still pay for the other part of the book. And in my opinion, it's a local used bookstore. I'd rather just pay for the book. Like, I'd rather just support them, not try to nickel and dime it off of credit. So, like, I don't I don't have any use for it. And then to bring them all the way to the library that I grew up around would be a bit of a drive, and I don't know if they would take that much at once. I know they take donations all the time, but I don't know if they would take that much at once, because they actively get rid of hundreds of books every year, between the book sale that's happening this weekend, which happens once a year, and the getting rid of them weekly as free books throughout the whole summer. So, I don't know. I've got to figure out something, because I would really like to get rid of them and get my book collection a little more under control. I'm not trying to get rid of all of my books by any means, but I'm trying to get rid of books I've already read or won't read, and keep the books that I like, and then move on from there. Like, be able to have, you know, a collection of books that I want to read and that I would read, and then books that I wouldn't read kind of get taken off the shelves, just because I don't have the time to read all of the ones that I have that I wouldn't read, and they're ones I honestly wouldn't read that I'm just holding on to because I'll read them at some point, but I'm not going to, because I'm a mood reader, and I'll just pick up what reads look good to me, and if they don't look good to me, I'm never gonna read them, let's be honest. So, it's just a whole mess, and I definitely have to organize and downsize some, because all of my bookshelves are overflowing at this point, and there's no reason for that. Like, I have a lot of bookshelves. There's no reason for them all to be overflowing when a lot of them are copies that I wouldn't read or haven't read that can, you know, find a new home where they will be finding use somewhere. So, that's the state of things. I don't know if I have my Pango books. That's not bad. What would the next one be? Silk Touch? Yeah, no thanks. Okay. That's not bad of a, enchant on it. Yeah, so, I definitely, might deal with more books in the future, or getting a better setup for my books and stuff, but for right now, I'm just trying to downsize. If anyone's interested in really cheap books, my Pango books is linked on my Instagram bio, and I'm pretty sure my Instagram is linked to this channel. Let me double check. Yep, my Instagram is linked to this channel. On the main channel page, it has my Instagram link, so you could always go visit that if you're interested. Yeah, I don't know what else I want to do. I kind of want to strip mine for diamonds. I can't really do much because my controller's gonna die. Yeah, my controller's gonna die, so I don't think I want to keep doing much. I kind of think I want to get off and go read, ironically, and relax until my partner gets home for the night. So I think I might just go do that. I will come breed these animals and kill them, because I haven't in a hot minute. Oh, I opened the gate. Didn't mean to do that. Alright. Hey, sheep, you wanna come in since you're already following me and there's only 3 in here? Yes, come in here. God, I keep coughing today. All week, honestly. I don't know what it is. My throat's been, like, scratchy. Not scratchy as in sick scratchy, but scratchy as in there's, like, something in the back of my throat type feeling at all times. It just sends me into coughing fits very frequently. We gotta thin the herd some with some of these animals because they're definitely overcrowding. Hey, get in there. Get in there. That's why I tried to drink some tea, because the tea has some sugar in it, and I thought it might soothe my throat a little to get the scritchy feeling to go away, but it really didn't. It still feels scritchy. So I don't know what it's doing. Get out of the gate. Get out of the gate. And I keep having to flip my microphone up to mute it because I'm like coughing so much. Yeah. Whoa, wrong thing. This is what goes in this chest. Yeah, the reason I kept running around like a madman killing animals on this was because I was trying to get to level 30, and that was like the best way I could kill time, was I would run around during the day killing animals and then run around at night killing mobs just to get like as much XP as possible, as fast as possible. Which is why my first enchant item of choice was a fishing rod, because it gives you a lot of good options for things that can be enchanted already, or that are for enchanting, or for getting, levels. So I don't need a Curse of Vanishing Bow, I don't need a Punch Bow. The last thing I'm gonna do before I get off is sort some of this and get rid of the stuff I don't need. Just to make this chest a little more manageable. I'm just gonna disenchant some stuff of the ones that I don't need or want. I know you can't remove the curses, but you can remove the other enchants, which still gives you some XP, so. And then I'm literally just gonna toss them on the floor out here because I don't want them, and they will despawn. But yeah, this is definitely a one-off as far as chatting on this world. I do want to chat on stream more often. Like I said, I would love to just babble about stuff that I like to babble about, like books and stuff on stream. But as far as, I don't use piercing because I don't use crossbows. I don't use Riptide because I don't use tridents. I don't use Quick Torch because I don't use crossbows. I wouldn't need that because of Curse of Binding, but I'll leave it for now. Alright. Yeah, I definitely want to chat more often on stream, just to be able to chat with you guys and chill. But I don't think I'll do it on this world. I think I'll do it on the main world, or on other worlds, or on other games. So we'll have to see what comes about with that. I wonder if I have a good sword set up already from the books that we have. Mending. Sharp 4. Fire Aspect 1. Fire Aspect 2, so isn't Fire Aspect 2 the max? Or is it Fire Aspect 3 that's the max? I should probably look that up. Looting 2. And we had 2 Sharp 3, but I wouldn't use a Depth Strider book on Sharp. I would rather use the Depth Strider. So we have a lot of things. We would have a Fire Aspect, Sharp, Mending, Looting. So we'd just need Unbreaking, and to finish the Sharp, and to finish either Looting or Fire Aspect. What is the max on Fire Aspect and Looting? I need to look that up. I don't remember. Max Fire Aspect. Wow, my typing noise is loud. My bad. Max is 2. Okay. Max Looting. Max level is 3 on Looting. Okay. So we would need looting, sharpness, unbreaking. Because my swords I do sharp, fire aspect, mending, unbreaking, looting. I don't like knockback. I don't do knockback on my stuff very often. So I'd need another sharp, unbreaking, and looting. I could make a diamond sword for the hell of it. And see what I get for enchant options. Screw around with enchanting with the last enchant option I have. I thought I took 2. Why did I only take 1? Oh, because it glitched. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make an enchant a diamond shovel for my first diamond item. That'll be swell. Yeah, but sharp 3 isn't that useful right now. What were my book options? Piercing, power, sharp. I could try sharp 3, but I feel like that's a waste. Screw it. Yeah, it's a plain sharp 3 sword, really. Sharp 4 is the next one, so if I get back up to level 30, I could do sharp 4. I'm gonna disenchant the sharp 3 because it's not worth it. I'm sure that sharp 4 is gonna give me like knockback or something I don't want on it, but only one way to know. I guess I'll fish until level 30 and see. I'm already at level 29, it shouldn't hurt. I wanted to get off because my controller's gonna die, but let's see if we can do this. If my controller dies, I probably will go quiet quickly without being able to say bye, because I won't be able to have the mic when my controller dead, and I'll basically just gimp my controller long enough to be able to turn off stream and turn off the game for the night. So that's why I want to just get off before my controller dies, so I can actually be able to say bye to everyone and shut off stream properly. But we'll see. Hopefully we have enough charge left to get to level 30 real quick. We're almost at 100 days on this world. Not bad, not bad. I've noticed when fishing on the world with my partner that Minecraft tends to give you a lot faster of return on the bubbles for fishing when you immediately toss it out right after you get one instead of waiting in between. Like as it's coming to you, you put the fishing rod back in the water. Not 100% of the time, but definitely a lot more frequently than if you let it come all the way to your inventory, wait a second, and then put it back into the water. Gives you a lot more in a row than it does when you're taking your time putting it back in. Another name tag, not bad. I'm not going to bother going to sleep. I'm just going to keep fishing through the edge as best I can and hope that I get to level 30. I could go see if there are creepers. I'm going to look up real quick what moon phase it is for creepers and see if that's the moon phase for creepers. Because if it is, I might go hunt creepers real quick to get the rest of the level. Okay, so the moon phase doesn't matter as much for creepers as it does for other mobs. They're kind of just generally existing or non-existing. I might go check for creepers real quick for the fun of it. I'm gonna get this one and then I'll go check for creepers. I'm just worried about checking for creepers knowing that my battery is low. Because if my battery dies and then I get bombed by a creeper, I'm gonna be absolutely heated. Because that's gonna be a complete waste of my time. What are you? Underhand power punch. Not terrible. I don't use punch often enough, but I mean I have a punch one on me, so I can't say much. Drop the gunpowder, I don't care. He did drop gunpowder, I'm pretty sure I saw it drop. Did I pick it up though is the question? Yes. I don't think that one dropped gunpowder. I should probably be killing some skeletons too to get some arrows back. But instead I'm just killing creepers. Well, guess I'm killing that skelly because he's targeted on me. There's some creeper spawns. I'm trying to outrun this spider. That creeper's gonna walk into the goddamn water, isn't it? Yep. Walk straight into the water. Let's see if he dropped any gunpowder or not. I don't think he did. I don't think that one dropped gunpowder either. And that one did. Gunpowder is what I need. Gunpowder and arrows. Free arrows. Oh, screw off, buddy. Level 30. That's probably my partner saying he's on his way home. Creeper! Creepers will steal your stuff. Anyone else remember the freaking early 2000s Minecraft parodies? I do. I always get the Minecraft parody of Lucid Dreams stuck in my head, which isn't early 2000s, I don't think. Because my little brother jailbroke our PS3 once upon a time, and when he did so, he made the intro song when you're like opening up the app, opening up the game, to be the Minecraft parody of Lucid Dreams. So it was a time. We tried gunpowder. It was definitely an interesting time. So I get that stuck in my head pretty regularly now, even as an adult. Just out of the blue. I get it sometimes specifically because like the memory from the videos I took of it would be popped up on my Snapchat, but other times it's just because I also really need to check that because that's from my partner. So I'm gonna sleep and check that real quick. Oh, that's not from my partner, that's from my friend. Okay. I thought that was from my partner. Okay. Not as urgent as I thought it was, even though I absolutely love responding to her, so I do need to check that, but it's not like, oh my god, I need to freak out and drop everything and figure out what's going on with my life right now. It's like, I need to freak out and drop everything and figure out what's going on with her life right now, because I love her. She's awesome. But, yeah, we were gonna try the sharp sword again. Now I have that song stuck in my head because I mentioned it. What? It said sharp 4 before. Why did it say sharp 3 now? Oh, diamond versus iron. And it had knockback, so I wouldn't use it anyways. Unbreaking 3. That is something I need, but I'm sure it's going to give me what I don't want with it. Yes, I do need to check that, because that is her, and I love her. I need to answer her. I'm not stopping from typing right now. I am answering my friend. Give me a minute. So, we have been streaming for almost 3 whole hours today, which is, ooh, we did it, quite an accomplishment. I'm thinking, how much gunpowder do I have? I'm thinking I'm gonna make what TNT I can, and put on some gold armor this time, and go TNT mine, and mine up some debris while we're down there, and then come back and hopefully have enough levels to try that Unbreaking 3 enchant and see what happens. I am not taking my fishing rod with me into the nether, because there is the risk that I die and things get burnt. I will take a gold helmet, because like I said, I need something gold on so those guys don't keep getting angry at me. I'm gonna leave my fishing rod in the enchant chest. Screw it, I'll leave my map too, I don't need it in the nether. I'm gonna take another sip of tea real quick while I'm loading in too, which could be risky because I could load in fast since it's not auto-saving, but we'll see. In I go, and tea I go. Did it. Did it. Managed to chug my whole cup of tea while it was loading. Alright, let's go use these 5 TNT and mine some debris. And hopefully mine some quartz and or gold to get up to level 30. We'll see. Anyways. Good start, that's for sure. I think we'll use up the TNT first, and then we'll run back through this tunnel and add the and get the debris. I don't want to give up on the quartz. Autosave, hello? Okay, I don't want to give up on picking up quartz because I do often find a need for quartz with builds and stuff later on in the game, like I do on my other world. Oh, I guess I still got damaged by that TNT. What? One? The heck? Okay. Alright, let's go mine debris. Hello? The game does not like me being in the nether, I'll tell you that much. Probably because of how many blocks I've blasted away. Oh, I did not want to mine all the way down here. I know I really don't need debris this early in the game, but like I said, I was wanting to mine in the, I wanted to mine in the nether to get quartz, because quartz helps with levels. And I ended up just deciding to, TNT mine down at this level, because it finds you quartz and gold and debris, so I mean it kills a lot of birds with one stone, rather than just aimlessly wandering on the surface, trying to get levels and dying because of all the mobs. It's better to, it's better life longevity wise to be down in a blast mine like this. You tend to survive a little longer, and then, like I said, it gets you all of the resources you could need in the nether, rather than just what you find on the surface when you're running around. Because as you saw, if you saw any of the other days, I did do some running around for a while on the surface, mining quartz, because I figured that would be, you know, the quickest way to find quartz, because it typically is if you're in, you know, one of the regular biomes of the nether. But the downside is that, A, you have to be in a regular biome, which is hard to find when there's so many biomes at once, and B, you die very easily when you're in such a vast area of the nether with, you know, gas and piglins and everything else. So it's just easier to do it this way. I think this is the way I went last time. No, I think that's the way I went a few days ago. I think this is the way I went yesterday. I know there was a few ancient debris chunks I found in the cave, but I don't know if I want to go find them or not. Basically, the ultimate end goal is to get enough TNT over time to be able to TNT mine out these strips that I've made, so that I can get more debris and so that I can continue to get quartz and gold, kind of like in the other world that I have, where I have you know, a decent amount of nether mined out with blast mining to get enough debris and to get a bunch of XP and stuff. I don't really want to use my diamond pick up too much because it is fresh and it doesn't have mending on it yet. And it's not maxed out by any means yet. It needs fortune. This one will need fortune, another efficiency 4, and probably mending to be fully maxed by my standards. I will have a Silk Touch specific one eventually, but my early game one I usually do as fortune. So it's definitely a ways from completed, so I don't want to use it all up yet. I'm just trying to use it a little to see if I can get the last little bit of XP I need to get to level 30, but it's not looking like I can. It's looking like it's not gonna happen. Especially if I keep running into this damn gravel. There it is. This should get me to level 30, I hope. Yep. There's the ding ding ding. Alright. I'm leaving what I don't need at the end of this hallway. And I'm gonna run all the way back home. I know it doesn't make that much of a difference to sit here and head hit, but it's fun. And it's not like I have to worry about the food waste, because I have plenty of food at home, so. Up we go. Alright, in we go. It's a baby piglin. I hate those little things. I tried to trade with one because I thought they could be included in the trades. I threw them into the hole of trading that I had when I was playing with my partner the other day. And I thought they could trade, so I threw them into the hole to trade with the others, and all he kept doing was picking up gold and making it disappear without actually trading anything. Like, what the heck? I don't know if it was a glitch. I don't know if it was supposed to do that. I don't know. But it was not nice. Whatever it was. Because it wasted a lot of my gold. For no good reason. I was just gonna grab something. Lapis. That's what I was gonna grab. Alright, let's go see what this Unbreaking 3 is gonna be. Oh, probably something terrible. Fire Aspect 2, not terrible, but not what I need. Because I already have Fire Aspect 2. Ugh. I think I'm gonna disenchant it, because the Unbreaking is useful, but the Fire Aspect I already have. So. And that's another Fire Aspect trade. Ugh, I should have just kept Unbreaking. I could always just reset it. Just do a cheap book trade or something to reset it. Power 1, I guess. Knockback 2, knockback 1, not happening. Respiration 3 is a really good book option, but so is Sharp 4. That's a difficult choice. Anyways, that'll be a choice for another day, me. Sorry, it's such a, like, random point in this game to be obsessed with, enchanting when, you know, it's not anywhere near the list of priorities I should have right now, but I get pretty obsessive about enchanting. I like it. It's a fun process, so. And I like to, you know, create a good items, like, one by one. So I like to keep an eye out for things that are helpful. Like, honestly, I wish I had Fortune right now, because I would, put it on my pickaxe. But I don't think I do. That's also why I fish, like I was saying, because it gives you good books. And I would enjoy having good books. I can make it efficiency 5, but I don't think I'm going to right now. Yeah, that's why I like fishing. It's just a good little fun way to get some good items really fast and easy. Because you can get good bows, you can get good books, you can get saddles, you can get name tags, you can get more fishing rods, all kinds of stuff. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to go through my fishing rods as well. Don't need. 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 I don't really need any of them because I already have my good one, but So, that one's okay. Trying to figure out my best bow configuration. I don't think you could do infinity and mending. I think you have to do infinity or mending. So I would do flame and breaking power. Mending, I think. I think that would be my combination. So I think I can disenchant this one because I don't want punch. I don't think I have to, but I think it would give me some extra levels for the sake of extra levels. Normally I just use these up, you know, normally I just do what I was doing before where I just early game use them up type of thing. But instead I've been using a mending one now. I should smelt my gold. I think the better option of the two options that I have between a book and a sword is the book, because Respiration 3 is really hard to get sometimes, so I think a Resp 3 book would be probably my best bet. I'm not sure though. Why is my phone already back down to 20%? All it's been doing... Let me guess, that's him leaving? No, okay. Oh. All it's been doing is sitting with the stream manager open. I'm missing fish, I know. I'm trying to get my phone plugged in. I know. I'm missing fish. My phone was at like 80% and it's down to 20. Just from being open for a couple hours with Stream Manager open. Kind of annoying. Just a little bit. I'm fishing to see if I can get any more good enchanted books or enchanted bows. And to get a little XP back. I don't know, the Sharp 4 is a really good one, but I think Resp 3 is a little bit better. Rarity wise, Sharp 4 is a lot easier to get a hold of than Resp 3 is. Normally you just have to keep enchanting helmets over and over again to get Resp 3. All of this will be so much easier when I get villagers, because that might be what I should be going for. I should probably be going for weakness pot and golden apples and making a village. I don't know where I would put them though. I could always do something underground. Like... Yeah, I could always do something underground, but I hate hollowing stuff out with just iron tools. That's why I had such a hard time flattening out over there for the farm. Which also the farm isn't completed either. It was just a bare bones basic creation I made to have some of the mobs contained so that we can get supplies from them and XP from them. Because when I first started playing over here on this world, the food mobs weren't spawning very often like they are now, where you can run around in circles over there and get them very frequently. It wasn't like that when I first started. They were spawning really infrequently, so I was really worried I wasn't going to have good food source. So I wanted to get a farm down as fast as possible and get them trapped as fast as possible. so I could have a reliable food source, but it turns out the food source is reliable enough anyways around me, so I don't need it, but I thought I did. So I did it. I want to see what that enchanted book I got was. Feather Falling and Loyalty. Feather Falling isn't bad. Power and Punch, not great. I don't use tridents and I don't use crossbows, so any of those enchants on their own tend to just get recycled in the grindstone for XP because they're just not gonna ever get used. I'm not a fan of the mechanics for either. I mean, yeah, I know I could get like channeling and do like charge creeper and get mob heads and stuff, which is really cool, but other than that, I really wouldn't have a use for a trident. I just don't use it enough, you know? I don't see much point in it existing. I mean, I get the point, because a lot of people have a lot of fun with it. It has unique enchant options and stuff, but for me personally, I don't see the point, because I don't use them. Or find interest in their enchant options. I'm actually in the process of trying to make a couple enchanted tridents on the world I have with my partner, because he's really into tridents. He wants the Riptide one, I think it is, where you can fly basically with water when it's raining. He's really into that concept, so I'm trying to make that for him, and we're trying to make a channeling one to do the mob head idea. Other than that, not much. I just want some enchanted stuff to either disenchant or to use. But it doesn't want to give me much today. It did earlier, but it doesn't want to right now. Yeah, Resp and Aqua Affinity on helmets are kind of hard to get. They're more of a like rotary style, you have to kind of get what you get type of thing, and you don't often find them. We have an Aqua Affinity book, but it's also Cursed Binding, and I'm not putting Cursed Binding even if it would be helpful. You know? Not worth it. Because then I'm literally stuck with it forever, because it would be on, you know, my maxed out netherite gear, and I'm not getting that broken, no way. So, it wouldn't physically be breakable because it would have mending on it. So I would literally indefinitely be stuck with a helmet on. No thanks. Especially if it had like thorns on it and I was doing a project where I didn't want thorns, I'd be pretty screwed. Although I don't think I usually put thorns on my helmets because I do the Resp Aqua Affinity protection and breaking mending. I might do thorns too. I had a hell of a time on that world that I play with my partner because I could not for the life of me get maxed out boots. I made maxed out boots for him just fine, but for some reason the order of operations of how I was putting the enchants on mine it was just not computing. I ended up without soul speed and something else on my boots because I just gave up on trying to do it, because I made like 4 or 5 pairs of boots that were almost maxed out, and then when I tried to add the last thing, it's like too expensive. So I just gave up and made half maxed ones where I like had a couple enchants that weren't on them. Because after you've spent, you know, practically over 100 XP levels creating like 3 or 4 pairs of boots that end up being too expensive to finish, you get a little tired out and a little frustrated. You kind of just like say screw it and give up. What? Man's dodged it without even trying. What? Again, why are you dodging arrows that are aimed directly at your face? Level 30 again. Come on. Once this one comes in, I'm gonna empty inventory. Alright. If we had a fisherman villager, we would have a lot of emeralds right now. Alright, let's see what of this stuff I need to grindstone. This one because it's punch. This one because it's not needed. That one keep. Oop, that one keep. That's a power 4 bow. Good thing I thought before I acted there. Because that'll go right there. I wonder what I have worth of, and if I had a cleric villager, life would be good too. I was gonna say what I have for, armor options. Depth Strider. Feather falling. I'd probably actually use the other feather falling book I just got. I wouldn't use fire prop 4, so that can get changed. I think I would use this on armor because it's got prop 4 mending. And that's the one I said would kind of suck because it's Aqua Affinity, but it's also Cursive Binding. I don't think I'd even use this unless I had to for like prop 3 to prop 4. I don't know. I know I wouldn't use fire prop 4 for anything. Alright, let's see what we get. Vesp 3. Bane of Arthropods 4, no way. Fire prop 3, Depth Strider. Not that great. What do you want? Ooh, gunpowder buy. Ooh. I might go get some milk. Because I think that gunpowder buy is worth it. It's a lot faster and easier than killing a bunch of creepers. Wow, my brain was farting real hard there. I'm gonna do 3 of each because I think I can trade up to 3 of each. Chicken, what are you doing in with the cows? That chicken is broken. I can't remember if he gives you the empty buckets back or if he takes all of the buckets. 2 each is the max. Alright. And 2 is the max on the gunpowder trade. Ugh, that kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. No. 8 gunpowder is still better than nothing. Plus we got 6 extra emeralds, so not bad. Alright. Well, it's been about 3.5 hours today. I think I'm gonna get off and spend some time reading until my partner gets home, because I'm probably gonna play Minecraft on our world with him when he gets back, so I think my brain needs a little bit of a detox from Minecraft before I get back on it on a different world. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Pretty much. Just getting stuff done. Next time I'll most likely be muted, but I'm hoping to eventually figure out what I'm doing with the rest of the house, like the glass situation and all that. I was gonna make some tinted glass to see what that looks like in comparison to like gray glass, but I don't know if I even have gray dye to be able to try gray glass. Yeah, I don't think any of that would make gray dye. And I don't have any squid ink, I don't think, because I think it would be in here. Well, I do have squid ink, okay. Well, let's make some gray glass and make some tinted glass just to damn it. I guess I'll do that next time. So anyways. Anyways, I gotta go before my controller disconnects again. So, I will see you guys next time. Take care. Take your meds, drink some water, eat some food. Love you guys. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.